Hey everybody and welcome. Today we are going to be reviewing Stephen King miniseries It, but we're going to do a twist. Unfortunately for one of my co-hosts today, BilliePetal in particular, she has some very bad traumatic memories of The Mist. So we decided to switch that over and concentrate on the remakes that they made for the most recent time. So again, like I said though, we're going to be doing that instead. Today we have, of course, Puganator2020 and BilliePetal joining us.
Hello! Hi.
You're very quiet.
Hello. Howdy-ho.
But, yeah, hard to believe, though, that, honestly, for what it's worth, I know a few of my friends who watched this movie and were absolutely terrified of clowns afterwards.
Yeah, it's icky. He's icky. It doesn't matter who does it, he's icky.
Oh, hold on. Give me just a second, buddy. I'm going to do this. Give me a second. For those of you guys, we're actually going to be adding one other person joining in, and that person is going to be our good friend, Phoenix Fire.
Yay!
Give me a second. I am going to try to contact him. All right, there we go.
I didn't know Phoenix Fire was coming.
He wasn't able to come last time, but he said he wanted to be here now, so.
I think he just likes us.
I think he just likes his core group.
Yes.
Hey there, Phoenix Fire. How you doing?
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
You're good. You're good, bud.
Hey!
Howdy.
How you doing?
Just got home not too long ago, and now I'm just relaxing and resting the legs.
Oh yeah, we were just out and about earlier as well.
Spent half the day with my mom and her best friend at a mall, and yeah,
Nice.
talk about crowded and whatnot, but
Ooh, the mall.
it's nice to get out, get away from this apartment, and get some fresh air.
I remember I used to go to the mall all the time until they became hazardous for our health. And I don't mean just COVID, gang members mainly. And again, Los Angeles is pretty bad.
I wasn't complaining. I was getting offered a free lunch by Cummings. I was like, hey, free food? Who doesn't say no to that?
Oh, damn straight. I agree with you on that one. All right. So today we're going to be
And
reviewing.
my mother got me dessert.
Ooh. All right. So today.
Sorry.
No worries.
Japanese a custom cart for you. All for me.
No worries.
I have one of those too.
All right. So of course.
No, I know. Hold on, he's getting started.
Yeah, I'm just checking stuff off. But what are your guys' history with this particular movie, the remakes as well as the... Actually, let's just go with the original. What was your history with the original, if you guys have seen it before?
Oh, Puganator made me watch it. She said she was going to kick me out if I didn't.
I did not.
Honestly, for how you managed to do that to me once, yeah.
Oh.
And this is not a bad thing, though, guys. She did the same thing to me.
I've always been into horror films, so of course I had to watch it.
You guys are gonna want to smack me, kick my ass, whatnot, but I'm gonna say right now, I've kind of only watched 2 Stephen King movies in my life, but I've read mostly his novels instead, actually.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, that's good though too. I love reading, so.
Honestly, the novels are...
I admit,
Yeah?
I enjoy reading books more than watching the movie, because like most movies, the book's more faithful, and the movie leaves out something crucial, and then you're wondering, like, what the hell?
Oh yeah,
Like,
definitely.
not gonna lie. So I'm more of a person when it comes to certain movies.
Yeah, it's like, how do you take all these freaking books and put it into a hour and a half long to 2 hour movie? You're gonna have to cut some stuff out.
Yeah, definitely.
Good example?
Harry
If you
Potter.
want a good example, Harry Potter.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm not
They
gonna
put it into
deny
the
you
movie,
that.
But they cut out.
BilliePetal just said the same thing.
That was a good move franchise right there.
Yeah, here's the thing.
That's the one franchise. Harry Potter has so much information that they cut out, and they expected you to understand it. Then you didn't understand it. You had to read the book to just understand that one piece.
Yeah, actually, there's also several scenes that I think, some emotional scenes that I think they shouldn't have cut, like the death scene of one of Ron's brothers. You know the twins? Mm-hmm. Only one of them unfortunately survived. The other one died.
Right.
And died saving his brother's life for that matter.
They cut so much.
George survived. Fred passed away.
We could do like.
But they did
after stream after stream.
Oh, just the cuts.
However, here's the thing, though.
Don't
they
get me
did
started.
make some of the more emotional scenes, like the death of Harry's friend during the Goblet of Fire scene, really well. It actually was one heck of an emotional hit. So, for some scenes they cut,
Friend of Harry. I'm more like acquaintance.
More acquaintance, yeah, but still, just the impact of him dying at the hands of Voldemort is still something that I think it definitely resonated with people. So it shows that where they do cut some scenes out, they make others just as impactful.
Right.
And to make up for that loss.
Yeah, I think you have to look at it like it's not the same planet, it's a different planet in the same universe. So that you don't start getting enraged when you watch the movie, you know what I mean?
Or in this case, if you want more behind the scenes of what happened during a certain fight or during a certain battle, you could read the book to get those extra details. So it encourages you to read the books as well as watch the movies and see what they missed or see what they actually managed to get right. So, again, there are ways of doing it right, but then there are ways of doing it wrong. Like, in some cases...
They did do one thing right, and I will give them credit for one thing. I'm sure you guys will all agree.
What?
Dolores Umbridge, they got the actress that played that role to a T. She was so perfect.
Yeah,
she literally made us hate that bitch.
Yeah, actually they did. They actually did. But yeah, a lot of the acting, they got really good actors for it. I'm really grateful that they got such an amazing cast. Also, rest in peace to not only Snape, dude. I love Rickman. He's an amazing actor. And I also have to say, rest in peace for the actor who played Dumbledore, the original.
Oh,
Dumbledore.
yes, I love him.
Because he unfortunately passed away, and the person who played Gandalf played Dumbledore afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, sad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You have to also say Richard. You have to say Richard Griffith too, Uncle Vernon.
Oh yeah,
forget.
Uncle Vernon. Yep.
We got to see him do Equus. Him and Daniel Radcliffe when they were in London.
Yeah, I have to admit though. But yeah, that's
You
basically
turned around
what's
after
going on though.
Phoenix.
But yeah, now we're getting into.
See, I actually missed.
On.
Master Chief.
What's going on?
Oh, okay. That's it. No, never mind.
Oh, they're just checking
Sorry.
something. But yeah, today we're going to be taking a look at the mini-series, and this is actually a first for our channel. We're taking a look at the original versus remake, and we're going to be doing it on Stephen King month, comparing Stephen King's It mini-series to the two-part movies, which, honestly, it's pretty interesting how they did it.
Yeah.
For both, because I think Stephen King miniseries is 6 hours long, and the movies are only like maybe like 2 and 2.5 hours each.
I like both, but both for different reasons.
Well, and Puganator and I just discovered today that we only have part of the original miniseries.
Yeah.
Because we were like, God, they're not covering, like, they didn't do anything with the adults, and there's no conclusion. So we're a little behind there.
Yeah, and I'm going to remedy
Don't know
that
what
after
happened.
this stream. So.
I'll probably catch up eventually.
For me, I've read the book as well, and which is a very long book. And I've also watched both the miniseries and the two-part movies. It's...
Well, here's a good question for you. Define what's a long book.
Huh?
What happened?
Define what's a long book in words. Because some books aren't that long.
My version of and I know some people know me
War
that I'm
and
not
Peace?
much... What?
War and Peace.
Okay, no.
That's a long
For me, a book that's long has to have at least 1,000 pages or more.
I don't think I've ever read a book that...
I have.
I haven't.
4 of them.
I haven't felt
Stephen
like
King's
that long
miniseries,
in
It
books.
is one of them. Because that thing is packed with a lot of information.
Yeah. I found like what book was that?
Okay.
But yeah, personally for me, a long book is 1,000 pages or more. A medium-range book is somewhere around 500 to 900 pages.
I really
And a
don't-
short book is like 1 to 400.
I don't really go by page. I go by like how much I am enjoying the story or how much
Yep.
it pushes me to read it. There's one book I had to read in school that I literally could not stop rereading the first 3 paragraphs on the first page. This was so boring. I bombed that entire assignment because I couldn't read it.
I wouldn't blame you.
So boring. So it was like, that was 3 paragraphs. That was a long book to me. So I think it depends on the subject matter and how well it's written, how relatable.
Yeah, and when it comes down to this,
I agree on that.
yeah, when it comes down to it, we are going to do more remakes versus originals, as well as, of course, books versus movies, because I'm actually really excited to do some of the... What the hell are you doing?
Taking notes.
Oh.
Anyway, go on.
Very studious.
Yes,
Yes,
studious,
I have a whole little pad full.
You never... Hey, sometimes when you do this show and you find awesome fun facts, it's kind of interesting.
Right.
But yeah, for what it's worth, though, we're going to start off with a Stephen King miniseries. So, what do you guys think your score is going to be from 1 to 50? And also,
Which one
what
are we
the hell
trying?
is wrong with you?
I have a giggle. Okay, listen.
We're going from 1 to 50 to guess what our score we're
I
going
know,
to
but
think is going to be in
which
the end.
one, though?
Well, the first
Miniseries first.
one. The first one.
Okay.
The original.
Well, it's hard because we're missing half.
We're
I've
a
watched
little
I've watched that miniseries at least 50 times.
I believe I've seen it too because I must have seen it on TV or whatever.
Oh yeah, it was always shown on TV, and it still is.
That's
The whole
actually
thing.
legit what I said this
Yeah.
morning. I was like, why do I remember a scene
Yeah.
with all these actors as adults, the
Yeah.
kids as adults, and like
I
Pennywise
have
is outside
seen it.
this house taunting them?
I've
I'm like,
seen
where
it.
the hell is that?
Yeah,
So we
it's-
missed that whole...
I just don't have it in my
something's
thing.
awry.
Yeah, I don't know what
So
happened.
what is your score on what you know comparatively?
Comparatively.
Basically, what would you give the score if you were to do the review, and what would you guess your score would be?
I would say a 48.
A 48? Wow.
I'm not that generous. I'm going to say like 42, because I really like the remake.
I do too, but I mean, I'm sure the remake's going to be 50, so,
Right.
you know.
Oh!
I like
Oh.
I like
Oh,
the
no.
characters.
No.
I like the
No.
characters
No.
better
Wow.
I like the characters better. I like the actors
For me...
better in the first one.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, good.
Kind of.
I like the character development better.
I like
in
the
second
character
one.
development.
We're jumping
yes.
the gun. Sorry.
I
Retro.
agree, though.
Sorry.
I like the character development in the second one.
Yeah, it's really.
It's just that I
more
like
in-depth
the actual actors.
I know.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's the original
Right.
and I've gotten acclimated to them and I
Oh, no,
just
I prefer
endearing,
Tim.
you know.
I'm thinking I'm
Oh,
gonna
sorry,
give it a
it's his
40.
show,
I'm
sorry.
gonna give it a 45, but I do say I agree with you. I think it's because it gave it 6 hours that you did have more time to learn about the characters and everything about them at that point.
Right.
Which, again, if you were reading a book, the actual book, they went into great detail
And I
on
like
some of their
John
struggles and
Boy.
all of them.
I know you like John. I
And-
knew that was it. I fucking knew it.
And John
Oh.
Ritter.
I like Superman's mom, Beverly.
Oh yeah, and I like her too. Yeah.
Wait,
so,
which Superman?
The TV show Superman. That's Beverly is
Dean.
his mom in the TV
Ah.
show. Smallville.
Yeah. See, that's
Oh,
the
okay.
reason why it's
Yeah.
hard for me to say because even though I like the character development in the second movie,
You're more
I'm-
comfortable with the actors. in the
yes,
first.
exactly in the
Yeah.
first movie.
Yes, I
I
get you.
yeah, definitely.
What about you, Phoenix Fire? What would be your score?
I can't really give it a score because I've never watched it, so I can't really give critique. But I know bits and pieces. I'll just give my opinion for that because I can't really say anything.
Actually, how about we do like the? How about your score will be for the book, since you've read that one.
Oh man, the last time I read but don't forget, the last time I read the book was years and years ago. Let's see, last time I read the book was what? I was what? 13, 14? That was what? 16 years ago? You're gonna expect me to remember from all that way back?
Yeah, I was. I actually remember reading the book when I was around 18. So.
How
So
old
I
is he?
remember reading the book, I think it was 16 years ago. Man, you're gonna really make
Yeah,
my
he's
memory work into
I think
overdrive.
he's
for
around
this, so,
30.
I really can't say.
All right. So, what would you give a rating for the
I can't
book?
really say. About 45 if I hadn't read it.
All right. So we'll just stick with that
Then again,
45
I
score for the book.
And whatever, but I can't remember. Shoot me, it's not my fault. I'm old, you know.
All right. So, you guys ready? We're gonna get started on story first.
He
What?
doesn't live here in the United States. He lives overseas, right? Where does he live?
Phoenix Fire, Puganator, as well as Billy are wondering, where are you from?
Canada, Toronto, Ontario.
Oh, okay.
I have several people.
So is
several
he-
of my people are some of my friends actually are from Canada.
Do you live in Canada now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
For now.
Okay, we were just
Keyword,
curious.
For now.
Where are you moving? Where are you gonna be moving to?
Cali.
Where?
Cali.
Alley.
Where's that?
Was like
California.
California.
Gotcha. You're
Well, that's pretty
seriously going to move to California? You're insane.
I wouldn't recommend it, dude. I think
Right
you're
now.
better off moving over into Oregon or Washington, or
Can I
if
have
you're
a
gonna go
ride?
west.
Yes, but the love of my life is in California, and we're working on the details right now. It's a big thing.
Ah.
That makes sense.
Well, that makes sense, yeah.
All right.
Wow, California is
All right,
Right now,
guys.
Okay,
we're
first of
aiming
all-
for me to go visit there on October 3rd. So I'll be away for 2 weeks.
Nice.
Also, first of all,
He's already planned it.
yeah.
He's planning the trip to Disney World and whatnot.
Oh,
He's taking me
damn
for
it,
the
I haven't
50th
been there
anniversary, Disney Villains Month,
Nice.
and all that. So I get 2 weeks away from Toronto. It's gonna be nice.
Nice.
I haven't
I'm
been
so
to
excited
I haven't
for
been
you.
to Disneyland
Oh,
either.
Here's the best
lovely.
part. This is the best thing. My best friend on Xbox, he already wants me to pack up my game system, pack up all my clothes, pack up all my Build-A-Bears. He's like, take all what you can, move in with them. Like, you gotta remember, there's a lot of work into going into getting citizenship, visa, a job. I can't just snap my fingers and move like that.
That
Yeah,
is very
yeah.
true.
That's true.
It's to go into consideration. So it's like,
Oh.
I just can't just pack a suitcase to say, okay, I'm gone. See you later. It's
Yeah.
not
I
simple.
feel you.
Yep.
Maybe back in the day, like the 60s or the 70s, you could just pack a suitcase, cross the border. You didn't have to worry about your passport or whatnot. But this day and age, with terrorist threats and technological terror, it's like they're very cautious to who's coming into the country. Like,
Very
you just
true.
Yeah.
have to be careful. You just can't do what you want to do anymore.
Well, and those
Nope.
Canadians are shifty, so.
That's funny.
Wow.
She's kidding. She's kidding.
I know, but wow.
It was an opportunity, I'm sorry.
Okay, let's.
We're only
back to
sneaky when it comes to it.
I thought it was sneaky when you guys when you decided to bring maple syrup over from your country over to ours. You know, like basically smuggling them.
That's a felony, you know.
Damn.
Legit pure maple syrup across the border is.
I miss
a felony
Canadian
to bring
maple
to the
syrup
States,
though.
sorry.
Fuck. Oh well. Anyway, let's get started with the story of the Stephen King miniseries. Okay, I'm gonna warn you.
I'm not
My
gonna lie,
friends
I'm
almost
Googling
tempted
it
me.
right now.
My friends almost tempted me to do the Stephen King drinking game when watching the miniseries together. I told them, "Do you want me to overdose and die?"
What are the words?
Basically, Stephen King drinking game is where you take a drink for every single one of Stephen King's tropes that's shown in any miniseries
oh,
or
Lord,
movie.
Yeah, we were talking about
And
that.
by doing so, and especially with it, you will die in the first 12 minutes. I am not joking.
No, you're true. That's very true.
And the only reason why I know is that one of my friend's cousins actually overdosed on alcohol and died from the Stephen King drinking game.
Wow, that's horrifying.
It is.
Good
Why
Lord.
I told him no. I'm not doing it.
Let's not ever play that ever.
If we're gonna do
you
that game,
sure?
we are cutting out all flashbacks. Because that alone is gonna take half that problem.
I feel like story-wise, it doesn't get into it as much as the remake does.
No, it doesn't.
It leaves a lot for you to infer, which some people don't like doing or are not good at. You know.
Yeah,
Actually,
So-
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think it explains a little too much.
Seriously,
Oh, I
the
don't
old
think
one,
so.
the original.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Compared
if
to the new
only
one?
you knew how much that the other one kept ambiguous.
Well, I feel
Because
like
here's the
totally-
thing.
totally
in the
dark then.
and
Oh, you
yes,
like
we're gonna
watching
go
like
into. Yep, hold on.
Different shows.
Hold on. First of all, I am going to go into spoilers. I'm going to let you know that. For those of you who haven't watched this, go watch it when you can. But if you don't want spoilers, well, you'll just have to deal with it in this case. I'm just giving you a spoiler alert now, okay?
Well, I'm getting
The
spoilers.
end-
I'm looking up on Wikipedia. I'm cheating.
Hey, no worries. At least you're doing it deliberately. When it comes down to the ending of this film, it actually turns out that Pennywise is this giant spider. Like, what? That's the worst. Actually, no. That is the most average of the lame villain reveals I've ever seen, because there is, of course, Children of the Corn with the fucking cloud, the fucking mushroom cloud that looks like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Okay.
But also at the same time,
We have no idea.
But here's the thing: Stephen King miniseries explains a little too much, but then it becomes so damn confusing, which goes with which and which goes with what. It's not necessarily the best cohesive story, in my opinion, and the flashbacks don't help. It makes it worse. For as much as I love this miniseries, oh my fucking god, there is no way in hell I am ever gonna get used to the damn story in the freaking original.
Okay, well we're completely confused because all we saw was inferable stuff. Like it's not really okay. So the part that we saw, where does it stop? It stops with the flashbacks section, where they're like, "Oh, is it gone? Is it gone?" And they're like, "No, it's not. It's just
Oh, so you guys finished the
it.
first half.
That's all we saw of the first part.
Yeah, the
Of
first half
original.
basically ends with the flashback showing that they had defeated Pennywise.
Right.
And
So we
he's
have
asleep
no
for
idea.
another 30 years. I think that's
We have no idea what you're talking about. Some spider.
Basically,
Fucking spider, what? I don't know.
yeah, unfortunately,
I thought
one
it
of
was
the
a clown.
one of the characters
confused.
dies to his spider form. I'm not joking, it's
wow,
absolutely
that's
stupid.
dark. Unless you don't like spiders.
Okay, let's not
But-
talk about the spider. Because, first of all, I don't like spiders. Second of all, I just can't connect spider, it.
You
So
don't.
let's just
That was
stick-
Stephen King's stupidity.
Let's just stick to the no spider.
Odessa's gonna literally
part.
kill me for saying that.
Oh, I know.
Oh, Lord.
And she's listening. She's gonna doo-doo me in
She's
just
not.
a second. She's so offended.
I would not be surprised. When it comes down to it, though, in the story is mainly that it is, or in this case, Pennywise is a supernatural entity, which, again, what you deal with. Actually, there's even several theories that the kids in the group have the Shining, the same power that's shown in the movie Shining.
Oh, that tracks. That
Yeah,
tracks.
that does track.
The Shining is and for those of you guys who don't know, Shining is an ability that connects people in a more,
Ooh, I love that
psychological
movie, The
sense.
Shining.
Unfortunately,
Yes, I can totally relate.
I assume.
yeah, when it comes down to that, so it's pretty interesting that a lot of people, even Stephen King, said that the movies are connected. So he just didn't even tell anyone how it was connected.
Well,
That's the reason why the theory of The Shining in those kids
that
makes sense.
actually. It's I'll give the story like an 8 for the original because it seems very complex. We didn't get to the meat of it. It didn't get explained.
Yeah.
So there does seem to be a whole hell of a lot of a backstory and a whole lot of stuff going on.
Which
Yeah.
we will...
Get to.
Unfortunately,
we will conquer that.
So
yeah,
I'm gonna give it an
unfortunately,
8.
but yeah.
Yeah, I'll
if
give
you
it an
guys want to know some of the parts of the story, yes, 2 of the main cast members do get killed off. One of them by the aforementioned giant spider, and the other one committed suicide by slitting his own wrists.
Okay, I remember that.
Because that's in the first part.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, I'd probably give it an 8, too.
For what it's worth, I'm actually going to give it a 7. Because for as much as I do like some parts of the story, other parts are just absolutely insane and wondering why the hell we're even doing this.
Doodle-doo-doo-doo.
But yeah,
What's the next quarter?
next category is going to be characters. But first, Phoenix Fire, what do you think of the story overall?
When I was reading on Wikipedia, it looks pretty interesting, actually.
Still, it is a really good story if you read
For
the book.
the miniseries, not the book.
Yeah, the miniseries is,
I read the book 16 years ago, so it's a long time ago. But reading about the miniseries actually shows interest. Something I want to look up and watch now.
Mm-hmm. And not to mention, they really wanted to make sure they go as close to the book as they could.
The miniseries was so much less... The remake was
Graphic?
really graphic. The remake was very graphic.
Again, it was made 20 years after this.
True.
So that thing has at least a 20-year gap. This, and for what they had back
That's
then,
true.
is pretty impressive for what
That's
they
true.
had.
That's true. Very true.
But you say about for the characters having the ability like The Shining, most Stephen King books actually, even in his movies, he finds a way to connect them into that universe. They all tie into together. He
True.
always
Yeah, very true.
Inga would
How
like to join
somehow
us for the
was this?
second
I
half.
can't remember.
Oh, she is
I can't
going to
remember
join?
if-
For the
if I'm
second
wrong.
half.
I think I'm wrong.
Why?
If I remember right, something he did,
No, I meant like,
something he did for The Shining.
why not join for this?
Somehow
Because
he
she has
connected
that
it.
right now.
Oh, God.
Was it Misery or Cemetery? I think.
Pet Cemetery, Misery. There's a lot of movies that I believe do have a lot of connections.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because, again, like I
Sure,
said...
I can't remember.
Yeah, because if you notice that if The Shining and It are connected, it actually kind of makes sense why Pennywise was after him. If he's like anything like those creatures from Dr. Sleep.
Because they're the only ones that can defeat him because they understand how he works. Right?
That and their Shining might help as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because think about it. You know those creatures in Dr. Sleep, how they were hunting down people with the Shine?
Right.
It's
I
like,
think that's what Pennywise, in a way,
That makes
is.
sense.
it's like an intuitiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, again, it would be
Makes
pretty
sense.
interesting if that was true.
Mm-hmm.
If it is, then, by God, that is ingenious work there, King. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so, with that said,
You
now
can
we're
always
going
play
to...
it safe, you know.
What?
Here's one thing we can always play it safe, you know. Instead of call it The Shining, let's be like The Simpsons. We'll just call it The Shinning. We don't want to get sued for lawsuits.
I don't think they'll sue us for literally talking about a specific power.
Oh, come on. I had to make a wisecrack about The Simpsons and the Treehouse of Horror. The Shinning.
Oh, yeah! I forgot The Simpsons actually nearly got
Seriously?
copyrighted because they were about to mention The Shining in that series.
That's funny.
Oh, Lord.
Remember, it's The Shinning.
Yeah, The Shinning,
Yeah,
that's what it's
I
called.
pay attention to cartoons. You're still lucky I pay attention to cartoons in my life.
Hey,
What would you do
dude,
without me?
thank you for reminding me of that. That was actually a really funny episode. It was one of their Halloween specials.
The treehouse.
Alright, so...
Treehouse of Horror.
Yeah,
One of the
Treehouse of
best.
Horror, thank you. Here we go. We're going to go into characters, and I have to admit, for the cast they had, they were actually really good in this.
10. I say 10. I love the cast. I really do.
Has nothing to do with John Boy at all.
I think that, I think that
Nah,
the
Tim Curry
cast
is
is
dead.
endearing, though.
I'm
They
sorry, I
really
gotta go
are.
with giving it a 10 for Tim Curry just alone.
All of the cast, I think, was great.
They were, yeah.
They really were.
Well,
That's one thing I remember about the miniseries. Tim Curry was it, and it's like, it did not look like Tim Curry. The makeup was so good. It's
Oh
like,
yeah, they
that could
did
have been
phenomenal.
any actor.
yeah.
If it wasn't
That
for
could
like,
have been any actor.
if it wasn't for the fact that when he talks, even though he talks weird and you can hear a little hint of him.
Of Tim,
Yeah, in his voice. It's funny because it is. I mean, it's such a slight hint, though.
Yeah.
You know, if you didn't know any better, you might
It could've
not
been
catch
anybody.
it. You know
Right, yeah.
that it's him.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, Tim Curry's performance is not only as believable for him being a clown, and I am going to outright state this right now. Fuck the new Pennywise. The original one will always be superior. Because not only was he a realistic clown, but he was also terrifying as hell.
Okay, well, I disagree. I think they're both terrifying
No,
in
here's
different ways.
no.
Yes.
First of all, I would know if I was a kid and I saw the new Pennywise, I'd run for the hills. For the old one, I would have actually fallen for him, and I would have been killed very quickly.
Well, if that.
I'm gonna straight up say it. I would have been murdered.
If you put it that way, yes, I see your point.
And besides,
but
if you think
they're
about it,
both creepy in their own way, though.
No, I don't like clowns.
And
at
not to
all.
me-
I don't
No.
either.
Even if it had a puppy.
you know
and
one of our
candy,
friends.
no.
You know one of our friends in Alaska. She has that big fear of clowns because of Pennywise. Yeah, unfortunately,
I
she
think
watched
they're
the.
both. They both
yeah.
are scary in my opinion.
I'm sorry.
I did not find Bill Skarsgård as creepy the first time, but we just started it again today because we felt like watching it. He is definitely icky.
Creepy, yeah.
He's
he
icky.
is in his own way.
Yeah.
In his
I'm
own
gonna-
way,
I'll
he's
give
creepy.
the characters probably in the original. I'm gonna give them an 8 because I find the kids and the child actors in the second movie very endearing. I love them.
They are pretty cute.
True, and a lot of them actually are from I think another series, Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
So it shows that they have really good acting
Ability.
in this case. So well done on them for that.
I'll give it an 8 for the original cast.
Yeah.
I do like the kids in the original as well.
Actually, no. I am going to cut it down to a 9, but only because of one specific group of people. The bullies. They are.
Oh, I hate
No,
them.
the reason why is that I actually do like the bullies in the newer version. They are more psychotic than
They're
anything.
horrible.
they're
But,
insane.
however, I have to say I think they're a little bit over the top with the original one. But even for Stephen King standards, at least for me anyway.
I just hate bullies.
I like me too.
I
I
don't
like
bullies.
I like the children in the original. I really like the children in the original.
Yeah.
Not so much the adults.
Right.
They're okay, but the
Mhm.
children in it, like Ben. Ben is like
We love
my
Ben.
favorite. You
True.
know, and I like Ben. I like the little guy. What's the guy that has
Eddie.
the asthma? Yes.
Oh, Eddie.
Yeah,
I
I
love
just
Eddie.
I think they are very endearing.
They are, yeah.
In the first, in
Mhm.
the original.
Yeah, I know some of
Makes you
them.
wonder,
What?
did they know they were signing up for a horror movie? Did they know they were signing up for a horror movie when they did this? They probably were thinking, "Oh, this is gonna be just any other movie." Little did they know it was gonna be a horror movie.
I don't know.
Oh no, I'm sure they knew.
That's
They
right.
must
That's-
have.
Yeah, they knew.
That's what makes you love them.
I know Seth Green and a lot of the child actors were big fans of Tim Curry.
Yeah.
I love
So
it.
it made sense that if they were given a chance to go for a starring role with Tim Curry, I think they'd go for it. Hell,
yeah,
I would.
me too.
Yeah.
I would totally go for a
Totally.
role in that
Totally.
in that miniseries.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. If I had a chance to jump in Home Alone 2, hell, I would work with them.
Yeah.
I'm with that. I'm with that as well. But yeah, honestly though, like I said, I think the only reason why that I personally think that the bullies are done better in the new one than the original, because the original ones are a little bit too over the top, almost cartoonish,
They're a little campy.
compared to the
Yeah, that's a good-
Henry
new
is a
one where they're a lot more
lunatic.
psychotic.
Lunatic.
Yeah, he's
Fucking
scary.
Crazy.
And
He
like,
even seems to frighten some of the other bullies. Henry
Yeah.
does.
Actually, did you know
well,
there's
like the original, they didn't they didn't actually
knife him? Yeah.
In the remake. They actually
Knifed him.
cut him when he pulled when they pulled up his shirt the first time when
Oh,
they
yeah.
attacked him down by the
Oh yeah, of course.
whatever.
Did you know that in that they actually I'm gonna mention this, the remake had a deleted scene where he was not only in the cop car, the main bully of the group, Henry, he murdered his friends in the car.
Oh, because is he possessed by it?
No,
I mean Pennywise.
no,
No, he's just insane.
he just did that.
Wow.
Now, is this in the second part?
Not in the original. The original, they
Or
were
is
killed
it in
by
the book?
Pennywise.
Or is it in the book? You're saying it's in the book.
Actually, no.
It's a deleted
Stephen
scene
King-
in the
Oh,
second,
shoot.
in
The
the
Stephen
remake.
King miniseries got that particular part right by having Pennywise kill them.
We need to actually watch the deleted scenes and stuff
Alright.
after because this
That's
is
dark.
baffling. Yes.
It's believable though because
Yes.
Exactly.
the
Yes,
kid-
like
Rachel, you just gave me an
psycho.
idea.
He's a psycho.
Also,
Henry is very disturbing.
Henry plays Draco Malfoy.
No.
Seriously?
That's him.
No, it is not.
That's him.
No, it is not.
Hold
That's
on.
Tom Felton.
My God. No.
Hold on. Let me
That is so
take a
not.
look.
I can tell you with every fiber of my being, no, that is not Tom Felton. I even know his
I'm
name.
just curious.
Ugh.
Oh, sorry, no. Retro, you just gave me an idea. Do you got pen and paper beside you?
Yes.
Well, write this down. You just gave me an idea because we're talking about so much about Tim Curry and all that. December 24th for discussion. You gotta do the Home Alone series.
Oh yes, I love the Home Alone.
All right.
You
So
gotta do
we.
a Christmas one.
All right.
We
Let
gotta
me
do
know.
a Christmas-
in
Let me know in the
December.
Discord, and I will make sure to do that as one of the reviews for the month of December.
Yes, because we can do the.
Nah, it's gotta be Christmas Eve. No, you gotta do it strictly Christmas Eve.
Oh, that's funny.
It's a perfect one.
Technically,
Alright.
actually, I can because that's
True.
on Saturday.
True.
All right. So here we go. I'm looking up Stephen King. Part
Just look up Tom Felton.
1.
BilliePetal's like waiting on her heels to hear that she's right. So
I'm not waiting. I know, dear. It's okay.
Nathaniel,
I'm actually very curious though if I am wrong.
You're so wrong.
Mr.
I love you anyway,
Retroactive
though.
is going to get.
But bam.
scooped.
If he's
Stuck
wrong-
you in the corner.
If he's
Sorry.
wrong, he should treat you to something.
No, hey, we already got treated today.
Yeah, we got pancakes and we don't feel good still. So thank you though. It's a nice thought.
Puganator
If
Puganator
you're-
was
if you're
super
wrong-
nice and took them
If
out
you're
to
wrong, you gotta
breakfast.
treat.
Why is it
that's a
showing me the
spiritual pie
cast from the
McDonald's.
original?
What do
Hold
you?
on.
Okay.
Hold on. Give me.
Get a
Part.
pie from
Oh,
McDonald's.
so it was 2 parts.
It was?
The original was in 2 parts for when they
so
released
you
it.
got part 1? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They did the whole thing when you were watching on TV.
Yes, I didn't. The one I have is only in the first half.
Okay, well, we'll just switch
We'll have to
Am-
get it.
Is it Amazon, you said? It's on
So
Amazon?
Oh yeah, I'm
14,
sure it's
Prime or
on
whatever?
17, I think.
I'm sorry, what were you saying, Phoenix? We just went off on a tangent.
If Nathaniel's wrong, he should treat you to a pie from McDonald's.
A pie from McDonald's?
Oh, that's good. That's doable.
That way he doesn't have.
Alright, so the character
That way
name
he
is
doesn't have to break the
Henry.
bank and have a complaint that he's paying a lot of money. You know.
Right.
Very true.
I am looking for...
Well, for here,
Why isn't
here
this
is
thing showing
what,
me
two
the
for
list?
$1.80. I think for you guys it's what, two for $1, two for $1.50.
Yeah, something like that. Pretty cheap.
Also, yeah, I'm gonna mention this. Georgie's death in the remake is actually a lot more terrifying.
Oh yeah, he gets his
Oh.
arm ripped off.
Yeah, it's dark.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
I-
we're not.
Yeah,
we're
let's
skipping.
not talk about that
skipping.
yet. Because
Okay.
we gotta have.
We have zero
Well, I have
focus.
to. I have to
Massive
mention
stuff.
at least that
Really?
character at least,
There's a gas leak down here or something.
or maybe it's just really.
Okay,
warm.
I'm looking it up, and I'm gonna say it now. It's not Tom Felton.
Thank
He
you.
was not. He was not
I know.
in the.
My God, he looked like him when he was in some of those scenes. Yeah,
No.
in the shadows. Yeah, he was.
No.
That's.
I'm looking at this right now.
Stop it.
Okay, moving on.
You can say it though. You should probably say.
Okay. Enough said.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah, I knew I was right before you even Googled it. I just sat here and let you. See?
I'm looking at Tom Felton's personal
This
book.
is the reason why I have to deal
I'm
with
not
these
saying
people
it.
on a regular basis. All right, so.
But you love us.
Moving on.
All right, now we're going on.
Hey, he didn't say it
you can
back.
See, just to bug him. What's her name? You can bug Nathaniel, like Bud Bundy. To know me, just to love me.
Right?
Yikes.
That's how I look at it. That's what I say to my family. It's like, you know what? To know me is to love me.
All right. All right, we're gonna go on to music, and honestly,
I don't recall a lot of music.
luckily enough, this movie tried to more build up when it was there. I think the music's more average in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because some of it is unfortunately forgettable, which is sad because I know Stephen King, he does do really good soundtracks for his movies. Look at Green Mile
I just
and
don't.
Shawshank Redemption we did last time on the channel.
I have no recollection for a whole lot of music.
Recollection.
Recollection for much of any music.
The Stephen
to be
King
honest,
theme is
in
not
this.
bad. Like the
Yeah.
the miniseries It theme was not bad. I actually thought that was pretty
Well, it
decent.
has like a I remember
It's more
in
like
the-
an ominous sound. It isn't
Yeah.
necessarily.
It's sort of a lack of a soundtrack. I think that's the key is to make it as quiet and. What are you
Hold on, I
doing?
think she found something in her hair.
It's a sticker. It's
Yeah.
a
Actually,
sticker.
there was a record soundtrack. They actually had a soundtrack based on a record.
I just wasn't sure if it
It's
was
actually
a
kind
bug.
of weird.
And I just came
I
across
thought
it.
it was a bug though.
Like-
Yeah, it's
Appreciate
really
it.
weird that they never. Yeah, because
Even
I
if it were
I
a
even
bug.
looked in the soundtrack and everything, and I didn't really see too many on there. You would think that this movie
you
could
go.
have had
Right
something.
So I'd give it a 5. Because it's okay.
Stephen
But
King's original soundtrack vinyl record.
Oh wow!
$90 on Amazon. Screw
Wow.
that. I'm not paying no $90 for a record.
Stop it. God.
I'm willing to say I'm gonna go with 5. What in the world is wrong with you
What?
guys?
for some reason it looked like your nose ring was gone. Anyway.
I'm gonna give it a
Stop
5 as
looking
well.
At me.
Yeah, 5. I'm
Fine.
sorry.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
Yeah.
I think that the goal was to make it as quiet as possible.
Right.
To
More
make
of
it
an
comfortable.
yeah.
Yeah, creepy.
So maybe
Creepy
Yeah.
quiet.
Almost kind of reminds me how the Birds did theirs with
right.
Yeah.
them actually having no soundtrack except for I think one song,
Yes.
Right.
yes,
and that was
very
done
true.
by the kids in the school
Right.
along
Yeah,
with the
and
teacher.
sometimes I think that no sound is almost creepier than
It is.
Oh yeah,
listening
depends
to
on how you do the movie though.
It's
Right.
true.
If you start with no music at all and throughout the entire movie and it's just building up the tension and everything, oh well, thank you. Here it is. Here's the actual soundtrack.
You're welcome.
Oh wow, oh my god, it's $117.
Wow.
Good
Hey,
lord.
get a second hand for 90. You gotta remember, it's better to get second hand, you know.
Yeah,
True.
that's okay. I can do without the soundtrack.
True.
And apparently it was released in 2018 on record to promote the new
movie's
movie.
good enough for
Oh,
me.
okay. Interesting.
Oh, this is for the remake, huh?
No, that's the original soundtrack.
Oh, the original.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, I'm not seeing anything, Liz. Not even now.
Okay.
All right. So
Just right there in the corner. It'll come up. It's yours is a little. You have a lag.
yeah, trust me. When it comes to streams, there's always
Mine was
lags,
lagging before, but
especially when it comes to
now.
certain
No, don't
ones.
take it off.
It was like way behind.
Oh, yours. You're gonna have to close your app out and then open it up again to.
Yeah, it does that.
God.
Trust me.
That
Nuggets.
But yeah, when it comes down to it, though, the music is pretty average, which is not a bad thing, but it's also not a good thing.
Right.
It's one of those in between that's actually this is actually for once where I actually think that might be a good thing, because the soundtrack in the new movies may be good, but they use it in the worst ways. Personally, for me, and I actually would give that one the lower score on that.
Okay.
Now we're going on to design, and like Phoenix Fire mentioned before, the costume design is
10.
actually really good with Pennywise.
10.
Holy sweet Jesus.
Yeah,
It's
10.
creepy.
I give it a 10.
However, when it comes to the editing, I think they could have done a little bit better.
I.e. what?
You gotta
Mainly
remember,
of some of the transitions.
it was in the late 80s, early.
That
was
is
it
true,
the late
yeah.
80s, early 90s. This miniseries came out.
Yeah,
So you
that
gotta
is
take
true.
For that
iteration.
time era, I think it
For
they did
1990,
good.
yeah.
It's.
So you gotta remember, we didn't have things like CGI back then. It was what it was.
No, we
Well,
did
had
have CGI. Back, it was, remember,
That's what I was gonna say. Correct. I meant to say we did have CGI, but it wasn't as what it is now for technology.
Right.
that is very true. And
It was still in the infinite. It was still in the infant stages for certain things. They had to do what they could. They just couldn't just pull off what they wanted. They had to do with what they could within whatever kind of computer system they were using for the effects.
true.
Are you looking at me?
Yes.
I find the costumes of the rest of the cast, like, it's hard to place like what era we're in. Like,
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
First or last?
in
Or
the-
first or second?
Stop it.
Well,
I mean,
according
the
to it-
original. We're
According
talking
to
about
the original, it was set in the 1960s, 1970s.
Okay, because I was like, it looks like it's like in the 50s or 60s kind
Where's-
of vibe.
Mhm.
where
I'm
the,
super confused, but it was filmed in the 90s, so what's happening?
No, the remakes are the ones who set in the 90s, and of course fast forwarded to the year in the 2010s.
Okay, so it's supposed to be
80s and 90s in the remakes, 70s to 80s over in the
the original.
original.
Okay. All right. Design-wise, I would definitely give it at least a 9.
Yeah,
I
9.
think
I would still give
Pennywise
it a 9.
is so good that he makes up for the
Yeah.
sort of lack of cohesion.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
The
Because
other.
here's a few things. In the miniseries, you know the bully Henry.
Yeah.
He turns into a dog person and attacks a security guard.
At what point in the remake?
No,
Or
in the original.
Oh, we haven't seen
Second
that part
half?
yet.
Or
Basically,
the first half?
after
Obviously
he
the
is
second half.
after he got corrupted and messed up in the head thanks to Pennywise, he was sent into
messed up.
Right?
Put it that
yeah,
way.
it
More
was sent
messed
to
up.
a mental asylum
Oh.
where Pennywise then
that's
released him.
Oh, yes.
And
Oh,
then
shit, that's
they
right.
literally had him dress up as a clown with a dog's head, and
Ew.
literally was an actual dog. And they actually made him maul and kill the security guard working there.
Wow.
We
to
still
escape.
have to do more investigation.
I'm like,
Wow, that's dark.
what was
Yeah.
this? I was so confused after watching that scene. I'm like, was this supposed to be funny or scary or
Deeply
confusing? Because if it's confusing, it hit right on the mark.
Why, thank you.
I was absolutely wondering, like, what in the heck is going on here?
That's a little OTT, huh?
Over the top, yes.
Or off topic. I don't know.
No, it's not off topic. It's basically over the top.
It's kind of strange because
I shouldn't have done that.
It's
Oh, well,
not. It's
yes,
just
you're
a.
right. I know.
For what it's worth, though,
Okay, I
would you guys? Good lord, concentrate on the film here. But
I panicked.
But yeah, it's really strange. There's like, okay, that was actually really funny. But yeah, when it comes down to some of the costume designs, like I said, Pennywise is amazing. They have the right clothes for the right time period. But then you see that scene and you're like, why?
I could see where that would kind of...
Although, I think it would fit better in the remake because they have a lot of weird
that's true.
visions and stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of it is mainly CG, which, again, detracts from what it is.
Okay.
I'm not entirely saying
I
that...
don't agree, but that's okay.
No, it's more like there's such a thing as using too much CG.
There's a lot, you're right.
Because if you use too much CG, it's going to be much easier to spot the difference. Where if you use a mix of practical effects along with CG, and if you do it well, then you won't even know the actual difference.
I like the bathroom scene with Beverly in both films is really jarring and revolting. Yeah. They did that really well.
Actually, the crazy thing is, I like the idea they came up with that the adults can't see anything.
Yeah, that was trippy.
That everything what they see can't be seen by the adults.
Right.
That's really clever.
It is. And it's very disturbing, too, when you're like, what the hell? You can't see the... are you serious? You know? Like, that's really clever how they did that.
Yeah.
It makes it more disturbing, more
obvious.
Yeah.
And
because
of course...
it's like he's haunting the kids.
Yeah, I'm also going to go back to characters for a moment, because that scene also reminded me of one character I absolutely hated with a vengeance. And it was Beverly's father. Because trust me, in the original story, they just made him a stupid drunk.
Yeah,
in the remake, they made him a damn pedophile.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Disturbing.
So, that almost kind of
For
reminds me...
her to cut off her hair, you know, that's just disturbing.
That is actually... And trust me, I've seen rape victims who have done something very much like that.
Right.
It's gross.
It's, unfortunate, but that's already a sign that something's really messed up in that family in the remake.
Yeah,
well, they definitely in the remake took the character development really far.
Yeah, they did.
And you know what the sad thing is? That part was actually mentioned in the book.
Wow.
Yeah, I was actually kind of shocked he got away with that.
Well, it does explain, because we were talking about that in the first part of the original, that Beverly is with an abusive man, and we're like, why would you go? But that's something that
that's like a
happens
typical
with people
thing
that have trauma.
if you've been through trauma of some sort or another.
So you sort of infer that her father was an abusive, sexually abusive,
even if you didn't know,
even if they don't expand upon it.
It's
you
clear.
get it.
Yeah, with the miniseries though, I'm glad they mainly stuck with him being just a very violent drunk.
I think they should have personally, but. You know,
I know some people would say that it's more accurate to the book, which again,
true, but
I am very glad they stuck accurate to the book with the remakes. But like I said, it really does depend on your particular taste. I know a lot of my friends who prefer the original Beverly's father and not the dude we got now.
I will agree with you there.
Absolutely, he's terrifying in the remake. He's terrifying. I mean, he's just revolting in the first one, but in the second one, he's terrifying.
And not to mention, just the adults in general in that damn film.
That was a trope. All the parents are assholes.
Yeah.
They're all terrible.
Yeah.
They're just terrible.
They're terrible to their kids.
Useless
or useless or
completely oblivious.
Yes.
Luckily enough, not all of Stephen King's movies do that. Like look at The Shining, for instance. His mother was very caring.
Right.
His father was, but however, it was more the house that corrupted him afterwards.
Right. I don't know. He did break his arm.
Yeah, but however, that was also the epiphany that made him stop drinking in the first place.
True.
And it was only until he got into that damn hotel that's when he lost his mind.
That should not have even happened.
And then look at Halloran. Halloran, you know him?
No.
The black guy?
Oh, yes, I loved him.
He actually, well, first of all, funny story, in the Stanley Kubrick version, he's also the voice of Hong Kong Phooey.
I love him, period. He's a great actor.
But he is an amazing actor,
I was so sad when he got killed off in The Shining.
You know, in the actual book, he doesn't die.
Thank God.
We know. He gets very upset. We can't.
He actually gets beat up, but he is alive.
Thank God, because I loved him.
Because in the original book, he is alive to help Danny out with his problems.
Thank God, because I loved him.
But luckily enough, they made up for it with the whole ghost thing.
Right.
But, again, like I said, it just happens that way.
We digress.
But, yeah, as you can see, though, a lot of his characters and tropes sometimes do translate to other franchises. Actually, there's actually kind of one that makes fun of that particular trope in Children of the Corn, where instead the children murder all the adults.
Okay.
But yeah, basically, yeah, he knows how to make fun of his own tropes, especially in Maximum Overdrive too. So it shows that he has full awareness.
You got me thinking of Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Ooh,
how the
yeah.
parents are useless.
Oh yeah, the adults are also useless in those two series, Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th.
Yes.
They never believe the kids.
Yeah, never.
If my kid said something
Actually,
like that
wait a
to me,
minute.
I'd be
Why
like,
aren't the adults so not that smart at all in horror
I don't
films?
know.
Why?
I think that's just, it's representative of how teenagers feel about their parents in general.
Yeah, I think it is.
You
I mean,
know?
I honestly think my mom would have believed me if I,
Yeah.
had a fear or something,
Well,
or
I'll be
whatever.
honest, for Friday the 13th, no, the owls are useless because the parents don't believe Jason's an urban legend. There's no such thing as a person like that going to come after you. And then look what happens, they're proven wrong and they're killed.
Not to mention
And
that
their
whole,
kids survive.
not to mention that whole freaking franchise is about nothing but him punishing kids who have sex too early.
That's
Or
Somebody didn't get asked to prom.
and immoral. Anything immoral.
He died at 8.
Anything immoral.
that was fun.
Anything immoral,
Good
Jason
Lord.
will kill you.
And not to mention, if we go with the original story for Wes Craven's freaking Freddy Krueger, he was just a child pedophile as well as a child murderer.
Right.
Okay, let's move on to the next.
And if you look at Nightmare on Elm Street too, quickly, it's like the first one, it showed you the parents were useless. That the teenager had a troubled family life. The father was separated from her mother, and the mother took up alcoholism because she thought that would help her deal with her issues. She wanted her daughter to be on her own.
That's true. All right.
It does.
Basically, but yeah.
God.
Honestly, for the miniseries, though, it's actually kind of amazing what they did with the effects, though, for some of it. But like I said, for that one particular scene is the reason why I give it a 9, because that scene didn't need to be there.
What?
The whole dog attacking,
Oh.
Yeah,
wearing the clown suit. Like,
he
why?
really is hung up on that. So.
I'm sorry. It just... It freaked me... It made me so confused as a child. I was wondering why. Because remember, I got into horror films when I hit 13.
Right.
So, one of the first ones I did watch after that was Stephen King's It. And I'm like, why?
Yes, I tried so diligently to keep you away from it for so very
What a
long.
load of crap.
Moral, actually, she
No, I
did.
did,
She
actually.
did.
When he was
Until we
younger-
moved to Connecticut. And that is when she started getting me into the horror films.
Well, I felt he was old enough that I needed to christen him. You know.
Kristen might...
Christen him in emotional scarring. There you go. Little trauma,
But look,
darling.
he loves it now.
He does. That he does.
But I love everything else about the horror genre.
Right.
Especially when it comes
Listen,
to
if I wanted to give him psychological nightmares, should have put on Misery. That would have teach him how to stay in line and
Oh,
be
yeah, I
happy.
like that movie.
That's
Honestly, that didn't
Very
scare
dark.
me much at all.
It wasn't scary.
Even
It
when
was
I-
disturbing.
Very
Well,
disturbing.
here's the thing.
It was
It's disturbing for me
gut-wrenching.
now because I actually do this stuff I do like Twitch streaming and all that, reviews.
Yeah.
I feel like one of those days that might happen to me.
I think that
Always be a gentleman.
I think it's
That's
a
the
gut.
best way.
It's more gut. Miseries was more gut wrenching than anything.
Kathy Bates is such a good actor.
Yeah, she's intense.
Oh, yeah.
She's alarming.
She's intense.
I'd be very
Alright.
nervous
Okay.
meeting her.
So now we're going
Just
on
remember,
to
when you
the
get married, be careful. You never know what can happen.
True
All right.
that.
we're gonna go on to the final
Shit.
part, which is atmosphere. I really don't know what to think of it. For as much as I do think that some scenes work, others just completely just like, why? It literally switches from great, amazing horror straight into freaking comedy, and I'm like,
That's sort of one of, like, see, that's what I was expecting with The Mist, is that, because he has that sort of underlining, inappropriate, off-kilter humor in a lot of his films,
This was intensely depressing.
I actually remember one
And
of the
the
jokes that
ending
Tim
was
Curry
horrifying.
did.
Well, The Mist, yeah, but I meant, like, in,
It?
yeah.
Oh.
I mean, there is this sort of underlining, sort of goofy, campy factor.
I think in a way it does work to a certain degree, especially with Tim Curry.
Yeah.
One of the jokes I actually remember, and this, I swear to God, has been memed all over the internet, was, remember when he does that laugh when he's like this, and he literally moves his fan like that, uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh?
No.
basically he makes a
Although
joke.
it's
Sorry, he
really-
makes a joke.
It's really
No,
funny.
I'm not showing you again. But yeah, if you guys remember the joke, it is, you have Prince Albert in a can? You do? Well, you better let the poor guy out.
Oh, yes, I do remember that. But I don't remember going,
Yeah, he does that right afterwards.
okay, well, I just don't recall
that
that
reference
particular
to
movie.
I almost think, hold
Is that
on.
what it
I
says?
almost think
The
to a
not
certain
joke?
degree, I think he went a little too far with the joke, and the directors were like, please get off the stage, Tim.
Oh, that is funny.
That's what I
No,
think,
that could've
anyway.
been-
It feels like
That could have
it.
been
Do you know what a
ad-libbed.
Prince Albert
If it was
period is?
if it was ad-libbed, then well
Oh,
freaking
yeah.
done on
Oh,
Tim
man.
Curry.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Just don't forget, certain
I
actors,
wouldn't do it.
they know when
either
to
way.
ad-lib a line or
in
whatnot.
a-
You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
Very true.
yeah.
And then, of course, there is the roasting from their dead friend head in the fridge,
Oh, that's right.
where he literally roasts the entire crew. I almost felt like, dude, Lord, this
We
seems
saw
like
that
one of those
part.
Dean Martin
We've seen the second part.
Dean Martin-
Yeah, but I just don't remember
birthday
that part.
roast.
Of all of it, I know.
I
need
feel.
to get...
I'm not even joking. That whole scene almost felt like I was watching Dean Martin's birthday roasts. I'm like, okay.
That was such an obscure reference.
Yeah.
I know it's an obscure reference, but Jesus, it felt like it at all times. I'm like, why? I'm not saying that's bad
I'll
though,
give you a round of
because if
applause.
you've seen those
I'll give you a
roasts,
round of-
they're amazing. They will go. They're
We've
good.
talked about so much not the movie.
I know, that's my opinion. I'm going to give you a
But
round
there's
of
so many
applause. You know who
references
Dean
that they
Martin
do
is.
in this series.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You're getting a round of applause. You know who Dean Martin is.
Huh?
You get a round of applause. You know Dean Martin. I give you a round of applause for that. Not many people know who that guy is.
True.
You get a round of applause.
But yeah. What do you guys think of the atmosphere, though? Honestly. What
You
is
talking
wrong
about
with you
me?
guys?
Oh, the atmosphere,
What is wrong with you two?
I don't know.
It's Saturday.
I get kind of
They
like
took their happy pills.
off track. When you get off track, I get off track in
Sorry.
another way.
Just say it. Just say that. It's Saturday. You're on your happy pills. You're at your happy place, and he's not allowed to be welcome.
Okay.
Ouch.
Okay, so what do I feel about atmosphere?
For the
I
film.
think
the miniseries.
I don't know, maybe a 6, 7, 7. I'll give it a
7?
7.
I'll give it 7. I'm thinking about when they, when they're having like the bullies are coming after them. Suddenly I can't speak.
Shit.
You can feel it sort of in your stomach, like you
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
being a kid and being in those. I
Yep,
think
yep,
they did
yep,
that
yep.
really
Hold
well.
on.
What?
Yeah, they did.
I think I messed something up.
What'd you mess up?
Hold on. This was story. What was your score for design? I forgot.
I think you said like a 6, a 5.
No, you gave it.
5.
No, you gave
no,
it.
I
No,
gave
you gave it a high
8,
one.
I
Yeah,
think.
8. Yeah, I must have forgot to write that down, which means I gave yours. You give it 9. I give it 9. Okay, so I got.
Oh, I did because of the whole bathroom scene and Pennywise.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I thought
All right.
those were
So,
both
what
really
would you
jarring.
give the score for atmosphere?
for atmosphere?
You already got my score, right?
Yep.
Probably an 8.
An
I
8.
think because it does have some very ominous, disturbing,
Mm-hmm.
sort of flashbacky moments where you're like, oh, I remember that.
This is
Yeah,
where I'm
you know.
actually going to give it low and go for a 6
Gut-wrenching.
because, again, that scene. I'm not going to mention it again.
You know what I think?
The other one is, of course, the comedy sometimes hits, but sometimes it misses so damn hard.
Yeah, but isn't it Richie being mouthy? That's sort of his comedy.
I think in this particular movie, I think it's a very personal thing.
Right.
I kind of think it's the way, whether or not you're like a more sensitive person or a more empathic person, you're going to react or feel differently than,
Very true.
Someone else.
someone
watching.
else
Yeah.
watching. I mean, you just, it's very, I think it's very personal. This particular,
I think most films are though. I
that's
think every
true.
film is an
That's true.
experience.
That's true.
And your personal experience.
But I
shapes
mean,
your-
especially this movie because of the
interaction with it.
whole, there was just so much like personal. Maybe it's just me.
No, there's a lot.
There was a lot of
triggers.
personal
There's a
triggers
lot
for
of triggers,
me,
Yeah.
and I think that's probably why.
I have to say a little shout out to Jonathan Brandis, who I was madly in love with when I was little. He passed away through suicide, unfortunately.
unfortunately.
So seeing him in this movie was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
that was pretty harsh when because I
And John Ritter.
yeah,
John
exactly.
Ritter too.
Mm-hmm.
Sad. Good actors.
Yep.
I remember Three's Company. I grew up on that stuff.
True.
Well, that's a
Anyway.
good show.
Also, before we continue to reveal the full total scores, I do want to say, everyone give your prayers to the victims of 9/11, since
Absolutely.
today
Yeah.
is 9/11.
Amen.
And honestly, yeah, it's still a huge tragedy, but we also want to, of course, celebrate the firefighters and all the emergency personnel who came in to save as many lives as they could.
The heroes.
Thank you
out
guys so much for your service, and thank you for saving as many lives as you could, especially in that terrorist attack. Thank you.
there. Yeah.
And also, I want to thank the Navy SEALs for killing Osama bin Laden and making him suffer.
Inga is actually ready to.
All right,
come
we'll
on.
add her in. But first, we need to figure out the scores.
What?
I am shocked.
Mine's less than it was. I know.
My score was originally 45. It's now 36.
Ooh, no bueno.
Wow.
Yours was 48. Is now 38.
Yeah, that's surprising because I do really like.
She matched
the
your
movie.
score when it comes to 38
Oh,
from
okay.
42.
Wow. Well, I think
Apparently
it'll probably
we-
change after we see the second part.
Yes,
again.
I'm sure.
Yeah. But again, we will update you guys once these two have done more. But as for my score, it's sticking the way it is since I've seen the whole thing. Alright, so give me a second.
Do you want to run to the bathroom?
I am now going to add Ingot to the...
I'll be right back.
Mhm.
You can turn the air on too if you'd like.
There we go. I fixed it up, so... There we go. Hey there.
Hey.
Alright, oh, shoot.
Is she there?
Hold on. Oh, there it is. There he goes. Everyone's in.
Hello?
Yay.
Alright,
Hello.
Hey, Ingot, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alright, good. Everyone's here. But yeah. Yeah, I have to admit, though, my score is a little bit surprising because I do really like the miniseries.
Yeah.
But I guess if you really give it more of a critical eye, you could really see the major changes in my scoring from that.
Well, and I think that film in general has changed a lot, has evolved a lot since the 90s. And
Very much.
I think it's an ever-evolving art form, so.
Mm-hmm. And, but yeah, for what it's worth, though, this is one of those movies that, miniseries in this case, was... I actually was very shocked that my score changed as much as it did, but...
What was your original score?
45, because that's just my nostalgia
Right.
hitting me hard there, but...
Getting you in the fills.
Yeah. Alright, so I am putting up the things...
Dakota is just beyond.
My poor child.
I know. Okay, where are we?
Ingot, we
There we
were
go.
actually... So, Ingot, all you missed was we were talking about the original It miniseries.
Yeah, the miniseries of It.
The original. So we're going to talk about the second one now, the remake.
Yeah, part 1 and 2 of remakes.
Oh, okay.
Because, unfortunately, with the traumatic moments for her with the Mist, with BilliePetal, we had to not do that movie
I
in particular.
appreciate that.
Hi,
We'll have
Ian.
to, we'll have to
thing.
do...
I
well,
was
what?
totally behind. I haven't seen it in a long time, so I was like, crap, I'm not going to know what I'm talking about. I wish I'd known it was going to be It. I would have tried to get here sooner, but...
Oh, no worries.
Hi,
I know how I feel.
Ingot.
Hi.
But yeah, for what it's worth, though, this is where I'm gonna be extremely critical.
Yeah, he's gonna
With-
kill. He's gonna kill me. I'm sure of it.
I don't mean it like that. I mean that I'm actually gonna give it. I am gonna give the new movies a little bit of benefit of the doubt, but I am gonna make sure to call out some of their questionable choices on what they've done here. Because,
What?
good lord, there are some
Excuse me,
scenes
no.
I'm wondering
You wanna
why
stand
would
right
they
now?
even do this.
No, wait.
All right, so here we go.
Wait, who here has read the book? Just out of curiosity.
I
I
have.
read it 16 years ago.
Years
Oh,
ago.
that was a long time ago. You should do a refresher. But I've read it many, many a time. It's my favorite Stephen King book. So.
Yeah, I gotta get some money, but I know I'm planning a trip, so easier said than done right now.
True. What are you two doing?
Your vacuum cleaner, that looks like full. You need to dump it once in a while.
Something's living in there. It could be in there.
Yeah.
You would never
Okay.
know.
Anyway. Now he's going to have nightmares.
No.
I'm so sorry. That wasn't
Anyway.
nice at all.
Very funny.
Okay, go
Trust
ahead.
me, if you told my friend over in Alaska that, she'd freak out.
Clowns aren't funny. That's not.
She
funny
actually
at all.
has a clown phobia
I
because of that
understand.
freaking movie. So
They're evil.
Okay, have we started it yet or no?
we're. Well, first of all, we need to at least find out what you guys'
that's
total
right.
scores are. What the
I
hell?
totally forgot.
She's
Well,
like,
I wasn't
move
sure.
it along.
No, well, no,
These
I
are
had-
not the droids you're looking for. Fuck's sake.
Thank you.
Okay, so.
Wonderful, wonderful use of the Star Wars reference. Thank you.
Okay, did
I
you.
do try.
Am I the first?
Yeah, go
We'll
for it.
choose yours first this time. Yes. What
I'm
would
going
you
to give it a
use?
48.
48. All right.
Oh, the remake.
And this is for the part 1 and 2.
See, I'm thinking about that scene in is it a Chinese food restaurant?
Oh, that
The
one. Yes.
animation is just so
What are you
Silly.
talking about?
the remake.
The original did it too.
With Mr. Tumnus, you know? For it? The remake?
Right.
Are you with us?
You know
How
that.
many fingers am I holding up?
No, but I don't remember that scene.
Oh, see, I do.
I do.
Okay, it must have
And
been
it was-
disturbing to you.
Oh no, it's not disturbing. It was goofy.
Yep.
It was-
Okay, I don't remember
Actually,
that.
Well, it's
no. The
disturbing,
one you're
but
talking
it's
about is in the
goofy.
original miniseries.
Oh, is it?
Yes, where they actually use toy
Yeah.
animatronics to play those specific.
Oh,
Things.
Okay,
It's actually pretty cool.
All right,
Okay.
rolling
Wait,
back,
what's the-
dial
oh,
back.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
She was just
Woo!
making me sound like a weirdo because I
They
didn't know what I
did
was
do-
talking
I'm gonna have to
about.
go back and
They
listen
did
later,
do
so I
the
missed
scene
it.
in the remake, but they did it much better.
Okay.
It actually wasn't a huge
I was
creep
like-
factor.
It was very silly. Okay.
So, what would be your score
My
though
total
for the
score.
part
I'm
1
sorry.
and 2?
Had a little. Ooh, there is a gas leak. We're gonna get it investigated. We'll call people.
It's not a gas leak. It's just that I closed the vents in this place, so the heat may be getting
Wasn't
to
it
them.
human gas leak? Which one of you is responsible for this?
Because trust me, if it was a gas leak, I'd be dead too.
I'm gonna say 47.
47.
Yeah.
Inget, what about you?
Total score.
What is your what do you think your total score is gonna be?
Excuse me, they're leaving right now. Bye, guys. I love you.
Bye,
For,
love
is it
you.
the new movie we're doing now?
Yeah, the new part 1 and 2.
Oh, it's a hard one. They got some. I'm gonna say 40. 40.
40.
Wow. Damn.
Well, okay. I missed the first one. Tim Curry is the whole movie, and
Yeah,
he's
you're
not
right.
in this next one. So it's just that's 10 points off of it right there.
That's
30
valid.
for me.
That's valid. Wow. Wow.
Oh, see, yeah.
If you want me to be perfectly honest, I did not like this movie one bit when I first watched it.
I
Wow.
liked it.
At
I liked
first.
it.
However, my opinion, after watching it again, my opinion may have increased. Possibly.
Wow, a whole.
Not by much, but enough.
It may have increased. I'm not saying it did, but maybe.
But yeah, my first time I ever watched part 1 and
Thought about
2,
it.
I was not necessarily happy. I thought it was really bad. But
Well,
now,
the second movie took more elements from the book. It's like that book is so big you can't get everything even into like a short miniseries. So
Hell,
you almost have to watch both movies to get the feel for the entire book and then piece it together
true.
on your own.
That's a
That's
good
true.
point. That's a very good point.
Very good point.
Because they both miniseries and the films have different aspects that they bring into play.
yeah,
That's
but
such a
here's the
good point.
difference. The miniseries at least got more of it.
Well, I feel like the
Compared to
I wouldn't say that.
compared to the new movies, they didn't get that much from the books compared to the miniseries did.
What is Phoenix?
When was the last
Fire
time you
thing?
read this book?
Since I was 13.
Okay, I read this book last year. I almost read it yearly, so both movies have their own this book is huge. Like, both movies have, like, scenes from the book directly that actually, like, work. But, I mean, you kind of have to throw both movies together, and there are some scary parts in the second one that I never got scared in the first one. The first one is, like, a comfort movie for me, even since I was 5 years old. It's like, oh, Pennywise in the drain, how nice. No.
That's like alarming.
That's like
That's
me.
a little alarming.
That's like me in the Night of the Living Dead.
It is. You guys freak me out.
And me with Terminator.
Well, actually, I have a strange love for Bram Stoker's Dracula. That I love, because I saw it when I
Oh,
was,
Bram
like,
Stoker's Dracula.
12
yeah.
or something, 11,
Oh yeah,
10. I don't know.
We'll have to do like maybe an episode where we do like a top 10 list one of these days.
Yeah.
Maybe we might do that
That is
for
a
Halloween.
comfort movie. That's so weird. I was like, you guys are cracked. No, I get it. Sorry.
All right,
Sorry.
actually, you know what? Just for that, on the last Saturday of October, we're gonna compare our top 10 favorite horror movies lists
Oh.
and see which one and see how we do on there.
What did Phoenix vote? I didn't.
He has never watched the movies. Remember?
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's gonna put in his own 2 cents though.
Oh. We'll save this for now. I plead the fifth.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. Let's get started with story. This is one thing I actually am willing to give this movie over the
No
original.
coming in. No. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go do something.
All right. For what it is worth, though, I am gonna say this, and he had to leave.
Oh, sorry. Bye, Phoenix.
Yeah, see you, Phoenix.
Bye.
But yeah, if you guys want me to be perfectly honest, the story is much better in the remake than the original.
I agree.
More cohesive, in my personal opinion.
I feel like there's more development to
Yeah,
the story.
yeah.
There's more detail shared.
Yeah.
There's more time given to each character.
Yep.
Yes.
But again, we're saying that without having seen the second part of the first.
True.
So
And when it comes down for me, though, I have to say that I'm glad that part 1 really stuck with the child arc, and then they went mainly the adult arc on part 2. Very smart idea.
I give it a 10.
That's because that's how it goes in the book, basically.
Exactly.
So,
I give it a 10.
But also, the one thing I do miss, though, the first movie really captures. Okay, so in the book, the late 1950s are described music-wise. It's got amazing music and amazing feel, and the first miniseries had that. But the second movie brought it into the 80s to make it current, and I was kind of like, meh. I could do without the 80s and go back to the 50s, please. I mean, that was... Yeah.
Hey, the 80s was a freaking awesome decade, for what it's worth.
It was, but you know what? If I want to watch about the 80s, I will just go watch Stranger Things. That's the best 80s thing you can watch right now.
oh,
So,
touche.
yeah.
Touche, my dear.
Actually,
Yeah,
some
I
of the
agree.
actors in this film actually would end up going to Stranger Things.
I give it a 10.
Actually, the actors in Stranger Things ended up going into this film. The guy who
Oh,
played
so it was
Richie,
the reverse.
which-
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I really like
Mike.
the kid who played Richie Tozier because I
Mike.
like him in Stranger Things, but I love original Richie Tozier, which was played by Seth Green back in the day in the early
yeah.
90s. So
Yeah, I like
and
Seth Green.
Seth Green looked more like Richie Tozier, like he was more nerdy. So
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know,
that's
but the new kid, Finn Wolfhard, whatever his name is, he brought a good Richie to the screen. He was
He did.
loudmouthed and obnoxious the way Richie was. So
So
Actually,
I have a question.
yeah.
Can I interrupt you guys?
Yeah.
So in the remake, there's this really interesting character development with Richie being in love with Eddie. Is that in the book?
Yes.
Is it? That's awesome.
What?
The three-way
No.
romance? Yes.
What?
No,
No.
There is a
three-way.
three-way
no,
romance
it's not
between-
in the book at all.
No, you're thinking about Bill, Ben, and
Bev.
Bev.
Oh, wait,
I'm
which
talking
one are you
Okay,
talking
about-
okay,
Hold on,
let's
hold on. What are
just
you
get
talking
it
about?
out here in the
Talking
open.
gay
There is a group gangbang in the book where all of their boys take their turn on Beverly getting out of the sewers. If that's what I mean, that's totally different. But the weird little romance thing that we saw, that
the
was
hell?
non-existent in the
I'm
books.
sorry,
They were
are you
all
saying-
best
wait,
friends. There was
wait,
no gay
slow your roll.
undertones. So
Wait, are you saying that the boys, like the characters that we find beloved, like they
In the
assault,
book.
they assault Bev?
yes,
In the book.
they can't find their way out of the sewers after facing Pennywise, and they're all panicked. And her way out of it is like, okay, we got to do something adult. Let's do this, and they all take turns, one after the other, with Beverly.
Ew, no girl would
I
be
can't
like,
believe you guys
sure,
haven't
let's
heard about
line up
this.
and- That's absurd.
Yeah, and how have you read
Sorry.
the book? and
Like
you
I
don't
said,
remember this?
it's only in the
What?
book. I am
Wow.
so grateful they never added that.
Wow, that's revolting.
Okay, that's just straight up child pornography. They were all
Pretty
like 12
much.
years old. They couldn't put it into a movie.
Thank
so,
God.
Wow, Stephen King, I just lost some respect for you, hun.
Well, get
Anyway,
over it. It was the coked out of his mind. It's my favorite book. Whatever. You need to go read it again, folks.
Oh,
Go read it.
no. I was actually talking about.
I think you just ruined their experience with
Oh
the
yeah,
book.
that's. Just, I'm not gonna even bother now. I was
Hey,
talking
obviously,
about.
you guys have never had like post-sexual like clarity, so whatever. They found their way out. They were fine. Like
Okay.
fuck no.
And hell,
I
in the
was
book,
actually-
she's the one who actually agreed to it.
Yeah, that's not believable remotely.
It was her idea.
No girl's gonna be like, sure, line up. No, that's a load of crap.
She was.
Anyway,
Read it. Go
No.
back and read it. Or I'm
Hard
gonna read
pass.
it to you. I'm gonna call
Hard
you
pass.
and read it to you. It's
Yeah,
sweet.
Anyway.
I'm really sorry, folks.
what I was
but
actually talking about,
unfortunately, that's
everyone,
true.
what I was actually talking about was the relationship that is it's not an actual relationship. It's the fact that they imply very heavily in the remake that Richie, the comedian one, is in love with Eddie.
Oh, you mean the whole
it
gay
didn't
romance
happen in
thing?
the book. That
No.
was completely for the second movie. It did not happen
Okay, well,
whatsoever.
I really liked that.
That was actually-
plot
I'm
twist.
fine
I
with
thought
that
was-
addition.
It made
That
me
didn't
very
bother me.
sad. I actually had read an article about how they frequently, whenever they do actually go there in an LGBTQ sort of storyline, it's always tragic. Like it's either unrequited or it ends badly, etc. So it bothers me a little bit that they took that trope, but I was happy to see that at least represented, a little bit.
I mean,
So-
I guess if they had to put it in the movie for nowadays, I mean, I just, it was very out in left field. It wasn't in the book at all, so.
No.
Well,
but-
I'd rather have that 100% than that bullshit with Bev and the
Yeah.
gang. That's revolting.
Like I
Yeah.
said, it was
That's revolting.
one thing I'm really glad they never did.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
second that. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
I agree.
That's disgusting.
But yeah, I think you also ruined the book for them.
Oh,
so.
completely. Yeah, I'm not going to
How
bother
did you
reading
ruin
that
a book
ever.
you guys have supposedly already read?
I didn't say.
They
I
didn't-
never said it right.
They never read it. I did. That's how I know.
You read this book and your mother hasn't. You to believe it. I know you have read this book back in the day.
Who,
No.
me?
No, not
No,
her.
I didn't read it. I have it, but I haven't
She
read
has
it.
it, but never read it. I did.
Yuck.
Well, it's one of his best books. That's my favorite. And that and the Dark Tower series. Dark Tower series is a whole other thing. But how don't you? Me? I will get you. I will come through the phone and I will get you.
Like Freddy.
Do you really want to scar them any more than you already have?
They're fine. They are big. Put on your big girl panties, both of you, and let's move on.
We're
All right,
done.
so
Okay.
in the score of
Definitely.
storyline from the
Moving
part
on.
1 and part 2, what would you guys give it
The story?
for
I
the
already
remakes?
told you 10.
For the
All right, so we got a 10 for
Actually, I
that one.
said 10 like 3 times, but everybody
Sorry.
was so involved.
We got it, cause yeah. So what about you, Billy?
I'm gonna give it a 9.
9?
Yeah.
What about you, Inget?
If I give it a 10, can I take it away later if I change my mind? I'll just give it a 10 and we'll see what happens. I can even it out later on a different category. I don't know. I'm confused. I missed the first half, so.
Okay. For me, the story itself is very good. But I'm only giving it a 9. Only because there are a few parts of the story which were like, why did you add that?
Right.
And it's not part 2, but part 1. Part 1 had a dancing clown scene. Like,
Why?
why? And this was to intimidate Beverly? I'm like, that's not intimidating. That makes me want to laugh at you, say you're a moron.
Well, clowns are scary, but
Even
Did you watch
That
it like
made-
during the day, or did you watch it in the dark, huddled
in the
underneath
dark,
blanket?
and I thought it was stupid.
Okay.
he doesn't scare easily.
I don't scare easily anymore. I've seen some
Yeah, not
horrifying
now.
shit thanks to her.
Thank you.
Oh,
And
okay,
plus-
thank you for breaking him in then,
Abuse,
because man, he needed it. No.
Oh, trust me, I've even seen some horrifying crap that
Now.
I've even seen some horrifying crap that would even make her wonder what is wrong with me.
God.
I'm sure you have. You're talking
yeah.
about me scarring people.
Just try to stop fighting him.
Oh, trust me, if
Yeah, you
only
like
you
it
knew
now.
the facts I know, it is disturbing in my head. Trust me, even a psychopath will wonder how the hell I'm sane.
What did you give it? You gave it a 9?
I gave it a 9
A 9,
personally,
okay.
because other than a couple of scenes that just didn't make any sense why they put him in, other than that, the rest of the movie is pretty good.
Yeah.
Alright, now we're going on to characters. This one's... I'm gonna give this one actually a little bit of a lower score than I did with the original series. Mainly because of a few things. I do like the bullies. They are much better in this one, and same with the kids. They're much better. So the main cast did a fantastic job. But again, one of the major problems is Pennywise himself. I honestly thought comparing the two Pennywises, the new one was the worst.
Well, he's creepy in a different way.
He is.
Very different
I
way.
think.
I
yes.
don't think
This
so.
is a lot more subtle.
The only reason why is for a few reasons. One is that the costume design itself is very unique. I do like that. But at the same time, it makes him seem more like a demon than what he was described in the book. Because even though described in the book, he looked like a clown. So the miniseries actually got better.
That may be
Yeah,
true.
but no, but except when Tim goes to attack, he turns more
Yeah, that's
icky.
the only time. But even so, he never really fully changes until near the end.
I stick by what I say as far as
They're both disturbing.
they're both disturbing in different ways.
I still think that the miniseries is the superior version when it comes to that.
So what is yours?
We can agree to disagree.
Second is, of course, overall, the use of CG on him. Jesus
That's
Christ's
design.
sake.
That's design. We're
No,
talking
it's
about
not just
character.
that. His entire gimmick is using shape-shifting. Sure, that's a good idea, especially since they use that in the final scene of the miniseries, but by God, they use it so many times throughout this film.
Pennywise
it's
is a
just
shapeshifter.
boring.
That's what he does.
It's
Right.
boring.
The
Yeah.
entire book is him
Right.
changing. It's that he
Right.
feeds off of any kid's fear, and he changes. He can read their minds, and he changes into the scariest thing, so they get the scaredest, so they taste the best.
Absolutely,
He
absolutely.
wants them at their scaredest. He
That's
changes
That's the whole premise of
based
the
on
movie.
each person's personal fear.
That's the whole premise of the movie.
That's true. I don't know. I just never took him
And
seriously
Stephen
when I
King
did that.
has some of those other types. There are other types of Pennywise that come into different books. The 7th book of the Dark Tower, there's one called, is it The Outsider that can do it? No, there are books where there are different types of Pennywise that come up that are really scary.
You're thinking more about design, though. What do you feel at how Pennywise was represented as a character?
Well, for as a character,
Ignore what he looks like. Just go with how he was.
not entirely bad,
Right.
but man, his acting is cringy.
Oh, see, I thought it was creepy as shit.
I thought it was cringeworthy. Like, he could
You
get
know what that
an
guy
award
looks like
for the
in real
most
life?
cringe.
Go Google him. He's a beautiful model, and he pulled off a creepy Pennywise.
Oh,
That's
he
a
is-
pretty damn good feat.
Okay,
then.
yes, I
He's
won't.
beautiful.
But again, we're going to
I wanna
design.
see, I want to see.
We're going to design here,
He's
folks.
From Hemlock Grove.
I'm talking about acting.
He's the vampire.
His acting is
The tall
okay
one,
to
that is
subpar.
Pennywise in this. Yeah.
Oh, I love him.
Bam.
But yeah, basically, here's the thing. That's design. We're talking about acting. His acting is okay to subpar.
I thought
I
his,
thought it
like,
was
I did not
good.
think he
his
was.
sort of happy, high-pitched sort of voice thing is super disturbing to me.
It
I
is.
don't think
That's
it's
why
that
I'm
disturbing.
saying- that's why I'm saying that they're both scary
Because
in
he
different
sounds sort
ways.
of jolly and happy, and then he's
And
like
it's
a
alluring.
Scary,
It's alluring. It's like a person with a puppy in a car that's getting ready to nab a puppy.
I swear to God, you're never gonna live that one down.
No, I'm just saying. It's like, here, little kid, come and get
First
some
of all-
candy, so
first-
I can
hold on,
steal you and
hold
kill
on,
you.
hold on.
That's
First
exactly
of all-
how he makes me feel.
First of all, in that particular situation, I knew that guy. He happened to be one of my friend's my classmate's freaking dad.
Yeah, no, I'm
We're
not
telling
saying.
something
she's not
real that
calling you
happened.
out.
I'm not
Okay.
calling
She's
you
not
out.
calling
I'm sorry,
you
but
out.
she
Incident.
brings that up every time.
No, I'm not even relating that to that. I'm just saying the way he
Oh
the
my
way he
God.
goes from like the sweet little to the
He's
the
very-
scary. It's
yeah.
it's like
It's
like
creepy.
it is. It's like
It is creepy.
luring in this
'Cause
little
he's
sweet
like,
voice.
he's very more clown to
Yes,
me
in
this,
the yeah.
in the remake than in the original.
I don't know. He just was. He's creating
I'm,
very.
I'm
creepy
sorry.
and
I gotta
disturbing.
give it. Well, here's the thing, though. If I was personally going to give Pennywise a score, just him personally, it would be a 5 or a 4.
Okay.
Alone.
Okay,
Just
well,
for
But
him.
the character, all the other characters.
But all the other characters are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I love the kid actors. They did a really fantastic job on that.
Yeah, they did good.
On the movies. And the adult actors did a great job as well.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, the rest of the cast could have been done a little bit better. And, of course, I do like the bullies, how they are a little bit more psychotic in the original.
They're
Especially
terrifying.
since the two subordinates are afraid of
They're afraid of
him just as much as they...
Yeah. As
just-
the kids that they're bullying.
Exactly. So,
That's
in a way,
terrifying.
it makes
afraid
it...
of Henry.
Yeah.
You're afraid... Yeah, I
Everyone.
think a lot of people would
Everyone. He's disturbing.
They
He's
added
almost
a
as-
different bully. They
he's more
added
scary
Patrick
than
Hockstetter
fucking
in,
Pennywise.
and his death was so different. I don't think they put his death in properly. But yeah, no, he died really crazily in the books, and they added him as a bully. I'm not sure why, but he died totally differently. They didn't hit his really mentally messed up story arc at all. I'm
Have
not
you
sure
seen
why they
the
added him
deleted
as a bully,
scene?
even.
I might have to read the book.
Have you seen the deleted scene?
What?
Go ahead.
There's a deleted scene where he's
Which
inside his...
ones?
In the remakes, where he's inside his dad's cop car after murdering him, and inside the back seat you see both of his friends dead because of him.
Because of which one? Patrick Hockstetter?
Yeah, but... Oh yeah, I forgot he was also in the movie.
No, okay, no, I'm just saying they added a bully he was just very loosely associated with Henry Bowers and those kids in the first book. And his backstory is creepy, and then Beverly... There's a huge, hilarious scene where they're all at the dump and Beverly's on her own. She's out there doing target practice, and she happens to see Henry and all of his friends bent over with their pants down, and they're all lighting farts in the junkyard. And it's hilarious, and she's, trying to keep, her cool, because if they see her spying on them, they'd obviously kill her, and then... So she's trying to keep cool, and all of the bullies leave except for Henry and Patrick, and there's a disturbing scene, and then Henry leaves, and then there was just... Yeah, the book is really good. You guys should read it. I'll stop talking about it now. But it's just, yeah. I feel like both movies kind of come together and do a good job of different factors of the books, but it's really hard with this one, so...
For me, if I were gonna give it a score for characters, I gotta give it a 7. Like I said, the main cast are fantastic all around, from the adults to the kids. Everyone else could be very much improved.
What is your vote
So yeah, it would be a 7 for me.
for character?
Oh, I thought we already did that.
No.
Oh,
What do you think of the characters?
We're both really fond of Ben.
I'm gonna say
you said something really
a
good.
9.
So Puganator earlier said that she felt like she could relate to each one of the kids. Each one of them has a relatable experience in the film
Or
and,
personality.
yeah, character trait,
Yes,
etc.
so
Yeah.
it hits home
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I'd say a 9.
What about you?
I'm gonna give it a 9. I really,
9 as well?
I have absolute true love for Ben. He's
Oh my God,
favorite.
yes.
And Eddie.
Yeah.
The two of them are my favorite characters out of all of them. I
Yep.
feel like it's interesting how they represent them as adults too. The characters definitely change. They definitely evolve. Whereas Bill, when he's younger, I liked him a lot, but as an adult, I'm not as fond of his character. Although Ben, he stays true to his really good soul, sort of, so he's definitely my favorite character.
Yep.
I definitely would give it a 9.
Nice. What about you, Inget?
For all the characters in this movie, I'm going to say 6, just because I didn't like any of the actors as well as the first one. I felt like they were channeling a different era. They were acting good in the 80s, but that's not what I thought. I was just disappointed that they took away the feel from the first movie that was kind of important. So, Pennywise, though, I will disagree with you. I did think he was a good Pennywise.
I think it's just
still...
a
He was
different
creepy.
take.
He wasn't
Yeah.
as colorful. The Pennywise in the book didn't have that vibrant of colors. He was dressed in kind of a dingy silver and red, or red lined and white and silver suit. So
Yeah.
Alright, so now we're going on to music. Oh, this is going to be another one I'm going to give it hard on. Don't phrasing! Do not! No! Jesus.
Hey, that's your bad. You needed to rephrase that a little differently there.
I'm sorry.
Mr.
Hey, luckily
Retroactive.
enough I said phrasing. I said phrasing. So...
It's a little too late. We already had
Oh,
the
screw you. Alright, let's just talk about music, okay? And
Again, phrasing
I'm gonna be
again.
very... What was that? What?
Just
You just yelled about hard on it and said, screw you. I said phrasing again, bro. No.
Jesus Christ's sake. This is what happens when you're adults, kids. Don't ever grow up, please. It's not worth it.
You used to be so young and innocent. I remember you. Oh.
Blame Puganator. Got me to the
I
horror
blame
genre,
all
she
of
got me
you.
into all that stuff.
Puganator, Master Chief, BilliePetal, you're all to blame. And maybe myself as well. Oh well.
Yeah, all four of you. When it comes down to the music, I think they kinda... Oh, it was not implemented well at all in this film. Like, take a look at the scene where, you know those hands were coming out from the, that garage door?
Mm-hmm.
And you could see them trying to grab and trying to claw their way out. And then you see it lift up. But here's the thing. They use the music in the worst way. It is booming loud. And I mean it. Like, it was overwhelming the scene. And when the car goes by, everything just finally goes quiet. I'm like...
I think it was
You
like
could've
an
done
attempt,
this-
like with the birds. You know what I mean? Like
No, here's what
contrast.
here's what I would have done. I would have lowered the music and brought up the volume for the sound effects so that it's more noticeable.
right.
That way, and then as soon as the door lifts up, complete silence. You hear Pennywise breathing. You hear him giggling right there in the darkness. And then all of a sudden, boom! Here comes the car.
Your computer fan is struggling right now. I could hear that bad boy, like, about to just blow a gasket.
That's what
think,
happens, though.
Don't you think that though, like, there's sort of like this sort of serene, you know, everyday sort of that little tune that they play, like as Bill is riding his bike. Don't you think, like?
There are some scenes do make the
It's
music
sort of like
work.
a sentimental, calm, like everyday neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, they did okay. The music isn't memorable.
There's
I give
even
it a 6 myself.
There's actually some tracks in there where it's almost like Happy Joy Tinkerbell magic type of thing. I'm
Right,
like, why was that even there?
Because it's the contrast. Like everything is happy and fine. There's no
Yeah, but there's a
monsters
difference
in the dark.
between having it go in those moments and it works, and others that is just so over the top it's not even worth having in the movie.
God, I hardly even remember the music.
I
it's
unfortunately
this
do,
one is
and
really
that's
not
what's sad.
memorable.
It's not that memorable.
That's why I
honestly.
give it a 6, because to me, I barely remember the music in it.
The first movie music was great. I can remember it right now.
No,
And
I
they put the
can't.
music
I
all at the
can't.
right time.
I
so.
can't.
I'm sorry.
I can't remember
When it
that
comes
either.
to both the miniseries and the movies, the music is forgettable in both.
I just don't remember. I just don't pay
I
attention
think,
to that.
yeah,
That's
I think
not
that,
what I'm looking at.
No, and I think in
That's
some
not what
movies,
I'm looking at. Wow.
I think in some cases, in some movies, like take Jaws for instance,
Right.
it's like
It's like a character.
it has to be
Right.
there. Whereas there's so much going on in the movie that
you're not even noticing.
No,
that.
no,
yeah,
I don't
it's
even
like
notice it.
peripheral vision.
Yeah.
Very true, very true. And I think in this one, so you gave it a 6.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to give it possibly the lowest score I've given so far for a freaking 2
Wow.
for music. Music just, no,
I
I do not like it at all. It is,
I'm gonna say 5.
you're going to say
I'm
5?
gonna say yeah.
Alright, what about you, Inget?
For the music, I don't
Yeah.
even remember it from the second movie. I don't even know if I can fairly score it because I remember 0 about the soundtrack.
So
well,
you-
that's how we feel. You know, that's how I feel. I mean, there's a little bit that I kind of remember, but there's
All I remember is the more jolly sort of.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, all I remember is the oldies that they interspersed
Oh,
throughout the
New
first
Kids
one
on the
because
Block.
the kids grew up back then.
They
Damn.
absolutely plaster
Okay, no.
that music everywhere. Why?
I think I tried to block that
was
out
the
again.
90s.
That was the 80s stuff. I
I'm
really
sorry.
missed the 1950s,
early
60s that they were playing. So
Early 90s.
Yeah, alright, so what would you give the score, honestly?
5.
5? Yeah, honestly, the reason why I gave
Just
it a
because
2...
there's music, I guess there's music, but I don't remember it, so I guess I'll give it halfway there because there must have been something. But
Right stuff.
Yeah, for me,
Yeah.
God bless it. Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah,
The
I
reason-
think that if I can't remember it, then it probably wasn't noteworthy.
For me, the reason why I gave it a 2 is that when the music was supposed to be there at this specific scene, they either made it way too loud and completely blot out the scene entirely, or it is completely tone deaf to what the story is going for and just absolutely has no rhyme or reason for it.
Do you know how much I'm going to enjoy going through these movies again after all this?
Dissecting
it? Yes, I'm going to be...
Why do you think I do this as a career?
Right.
I love doing this crap. That's actually one of the main things I love doing about this show is that I literally have to dissect everything, especially when it comes to video games, because good lord, they have so much in them. Because that's like over 40 hours of gameplay, story, all that stuff. And where movies, luckily enough, it's condensed in about 2 or 3 hours sometimes, but it works out in the end.
Okay.
Next, we're going to go on to design. This is a bit of a mixed bag for me because
10.
some of the CG is used amazingly well, like with the painted lady. That was a fantastic scene. They used that one incredibly well, including the headless man running through the halls trying to chase down the kid.
So you really take
That was
issue
also
with the
completely
CGI,
made up. That
but-
wasn't in the book at all. That was completely made up just for the second.
Oh
this
yeah,
newer version.
oh yeah, of course, I know that. But
See, but Puganator and I thought that it was really interesting that it goes into what the kids are haunted by Pennywise more so, like their visions. You see that more in the remake than you do in the first.
yeah, but like
And
I
it's
said,
way more
I'm.
disturbing.
Here's the
I
thing.
agree.
I don't hate CG. I love CG, especially when it's used correctly.
Right.
But then there are times when people overuse the heck out of it. Like, and yes, if we're going to do an awesome reference, let's look at Terminator 2. Terminator 2 had a balance of
Whoa.
practical effects and CG. And when it was CG, it was always either to help repair the robot, like the T-1000,
Right.
or to help make the effects almost look a little bit more real.
Okay.
And like you know
I thought I
when
was gonna get to
you know
that
when
one for a second.
you know
I
when the
agree.
T-1000 explodes and is in that shape,
Yeah.
that's all practical.
Right.
And of course the CG, when you actually see like when he comes out from the floor or when he moves through the bars, that's all CG but done in the best way and not too many times.
I still give it a 10.
This one absolutely abuses the hell out of the CG.
I still give it a 10.
Well,
There's some
Part of
moments
that
were
is
good
because
and
they're
some
trying to
moments that
keep
are
up with
not.
the book, and it's all about shape changing. It's really hard to tell this story without some sort of CG, and
Yep.
they were. I really like the Paul Bunyan statue coming to life because that happened in the book, and it was
that was
scary.
very
I like how they.
disturbing. That was hella
I know.
crazy.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorite parts of the book, and I was just really ecstatic that they put it into the movie. So.
Yeah, overall, like I said, when the CG works, it works. But when it doesn't, you really notice it.
Okay, well,
Because I could spot it from a mile away and say, yeah, that's crap.
Yeah.
That's horrible. This doesn't even need to be in the movie.
I
Okay.
still give it
How
a
dare
10.
they did not consult you first before making this movie?
I could have easily made some of those effects done
What
with
is
practical effects better than the CG that they used.
If you ever...
You better call them up, man, and you tell
my
them to use you
God.
next time.
Alright, so what would you guys give the score for design?
10! I already told you 5 times.
I was about to
Five.
ask BilliePetal. I already wrote yours down. Jesus.
I'm gonna give it a 9,
All
only
right.
because I feel like I remember the ending to the remake, and it was sort of goofy, and the CGI was a little distracting. Some parts of it, not too much, but I still stand by the fact that I think it was really trippy to see more of their fears come to life. But some of it is distracting. I give you that. So definitely a 9.
Alright, so what about you, Inget? What would you give the design of the film? Of films?
This is so hard. Because I really like everything about the first movie and the book better, so no, 5.
Ooh. Wow.
For me, like I said though, there are some amazing uses of CG, but unfortunately a lot more bad ones. And I gotta give it at least, if I'm gonna be somewhat generous, a 6. Rather, I would have if I was being a lot more harsh, I would have given it a 3 or a 4. So, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt that a lot of the CG, when it's used right, it is used extremely well.
Yeah.
Category are we on?
We are now.
No, are we on?
We're on the last one, atmosphere.
Okay.
Then we're going to be doing retro evolution because I'm already guessing.
Okay.
Now we're doing.
All right,
Sorry,
so
I just got confused.
all right, so
Between the two.
atmosphere. Same issue with the freaking design and music. The atmosphere just did not hit for me at all. For as much as I do think this movie, story-wise and character-wise, was superior to the original, but everything else wasn't. And unfortunately, the atmosphere, which is supposed to be the big key thing that comes from these horror movies, if it doesn't hit, then you did something wrong. What about you guys?
Yeah, you mean by changing the entire time frame that the movie was originally set in?
That didn't bother me.
So everything that... Yeah, but the atmosphere was different. The flashbacks were different because it was all flashbacks to the 80s, and I felt like some of the 80s flashbacks were lacking. I thought that the first movie, when it all flashed back to, like, back in the late 50s, early 60s, to where the styles these kids were all wearing and the music they were all listening to, it fit better with the book because it was taken, it was taken directly from the book, so it went with the movie. This movie was, like, they tried to change it up, and I felt like that kind of made it a little different and not so great, so.
I'll give it an 8.
An 8?
Because I liked it. Because I'm not looking at it as, I guess it's because I don't look at it as much of a remake. It's
Right.
almost its own creation, really.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it is considered a remake for how much they took from the original.
Right, but I don't know. I still liked it, but I still like it.
What about you?
I'm gonna give it a 10. I thought it was really good. I find it disturbing in some parts, and the like bullying scenes are really sickening to watch.
Yeah,
They're really uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
The Beverly scene with her
that's awful to
with her
watch.
father.
You really feel that one.
Mhm.
I feel very, very sad for Richie in the end after Eddie is killed. And then I really like that there's like sort of an uplifting part towards the very end, like the very, very last few minutes. You get to see everybody back in their lives again, and some storylines got intertwined, like Ben and Beverly being together. That made me really happy.
Mhm.
That was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I was really surprised that they even went there, because I don't remember that much at all in the previous version, that it takes you back up to a higher, like a happier place.
Oh yeah, they did the same thing with the miniseries too.
Did they? Okay. I just didn't expect that with how dark they went and some
Yeah.
there are parts when they're in the sewer that are really gross and disturbing, and you feel very closed in. I thought that the atmosphere throughout the film was really good. It definitely
I
is like
agree.
a roller coaster of
What did I give it?
You gave it an 8.
Change it to a 9.
All right.
Damn it.
What about
Sorry.
Inget? What about you? What would you think of the atmosphere of this film?
It's really hard for me because I've honestly only seen this one the one time, both parts, and it was okay, but it's my favorite Stephen King book, and I still feel like the first one did better. Although I like some of the elements I like how this movie included the Paul Bunyan statue. The house on Neibolt Street was a huge thing in the book that got totally glassed over in the first movie, so I was glad that they incorporated that in.
Isn't that
there
where
are
they go into the sewer?
There are different elements
No, into the house.
Huh?
No, I mean they go into the house to get down into the underground stuff, right?
No.
That's not quite how it was in the books. They still go into the Barrens, and that's how they get down. But the house on Neibolt Street is kind of one of its big, hideouts. It's got a place of power that it has drawn in lots of victims, but it's not its lair. But there's a large toilet with a big pipe. It goes directly down to the sewer that gets into the house easily with. So it just was a huge thing that happened in the book that I was glad they included, but I almost can't remember the end of this movie, and I feel like they tried to put in some of those weird supernatural stuff, but it's hard to do with this particular story. Like, it's it's very mental all at the end almost. So I can't even remember the very end, and if they did it justice. So.
Yeah, compared to it
So
both.
I don't know what my score is.
What would be your score?
I'll go 7. I'll just go 7.
All right. When it comes down to me, it really is, like I said, it's a bit of a huge mixed bag in this case. Like I said, story and characters are actually really good in this. It really does help carry the film. But the music and the design of the film, in my personal opinion, was one of the major things that drew me away from it, because it did everything that, in my personal opinion, they did wrong, but at the same time, when they did do it right, they did it right. It just, unfortunately, there were too many wrongs in this case and a lot less right.
It's distracting to you.
Very distracting, to a point where you're wondering, what am I supposed to be feeling in this film? Dread or laughter or confusion or whatever. There was no real point. In part 2, it was even worse. And even though I did think that some scenes were very, very good, unfortunately, for me, overall, both parts, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is where the mini series of It did a much better job. Because when they did do funny and when they did do scary, they made sure to put them in the exact right places they needed to be. Unlike this film. So overall, my atmosphere I'm going to give it is a 4. Okay. Because the atmosphere is just not necessarily worth the time.
They had some really good actors in the first film, though. They had Tim Curry. They had John Ritter playing older Ben. He's amazing. They had, what's his name?
John Boy.
The guy.
John Boy.
Yes, John Boy from Walton's, but I can't remember his name. It's something Thomas. But I loved him. And oh my God, I miss Jonathan Brandis so much. Okay, no, you know what I'm talking about, BilliePetal. Jonathan Brandis as young Bill. He was like my crush as a little girl.
I know,
and I miss him so much.
Me too. Oh, I was so crushed when I heard about him. My heart just shattered for him. I'm so sad.
Hold on, what did you guys say his name was?
Were we talking about
Jonathan Brandis?
Oh, okay.
I loved him in, he was in Sequest.
I mentioned a whole bunch of people. Jonathan Brandis was young Bill, but then
John
Richard Thomas is
John
who played
Boy in the Waltons.
Richard Thomas. I just remembered his name.
Oh, right.
What character
Richard
did he
Thomas
play?
is what his name was. I just remembered.
He played what character
what?
did he play?
John Boy?
Yeah, what did...
Who?
He's Bill.
Bill, right.
He was adult Bill.
He was adult Bill.
Oh, adult
His name
Bill.
was Richard Thomas. He played
I'm
adult
looking
Bill.
for him right now.
And Jonathan Brandis was young Bill. And John Ritter played adult Ben.
I love John Ritter.
Ritter's really good.
Yeah.
Yes.
I miss him so much.
I know. I was sad when he committed suicide. That was terrible.
Yeah. No, he didn't commit suicide. He died unexpectedly on set
Richard Thomas.
Oh, I thought you said...
Yes, Richard Thomas. I said it like 4 times.
Is the one who committed suicide.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Jonathan Brandis.
What did he die of? Did they say?
Who, John Ritter?
Yeah.
It was like a very sudden heart attack or something. He was on set of 8 Simple Rules that he was filming. He had a sitcom that I watched as a kid. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, that show.
And then he ended up getting replaced by David Spade. It was a really good show. It's so sad when he died.
Yeah, it was. That was a good show. I liked it.
Oh, yeah. But, alright, here we go. We are now adding up the points. Oh, wow.
This one did really bad.
For me, it actually went lower. I originally thought it was going to be higher.
I feel like it went lower for me, too.
Alright, here we go. I'm checking hers right now. Oh, yeah.
I know it went lower. It had to have.
Oh, yeah. Alright, now yours.
You're not saying them.
Hold on.
No, he's just keeping us in suspense.
I'm actually adding up the totals.
He's employing atmosphere.
Doing a much better job than these films.
Your commentary isn't helping, gals.
Alright, here we go. My original score was 30. My new score is 28.
Aha.
Wow. To hit that particular range means that, only watch it once. Don't watch it again.
Wow.
I like it.
Ingrid, yours original score was 40. Now it is 33.
Wow.
for Puganator, your original score was 48. Your new score is 43.
Hmm.
And BilliePetal, your original score was 47. It is now 42.
You know why? You know what did
Both
it for
these
me?
films, surprisingly, we scored lower.
You know what did it for me in both, though? Really? Was the music. Because I didn't take into effect the music when I did my original score.
Completely forget.
Yes. I mean, really, that's what really clinched it.
I
Unfortunately,
wouldn't even
yeah.
Yeah.
recognize the theme if they played it.
No,
you know?
me neither.
All
I'd
right.
like to go back and just give a 50 for the first movie, and it won't change, and just log my score now. Okay, just bye.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're now going on to Retro Evolution. If you guys were given control of the original miniseries, and of course the Stephen King's Part 1 and 2, what would you change about it and why? We're going to start with Puganator first. I'm too late. I picked you. Go.
The original?
We'll start with the original one first, and then you can do the Part 1 and 2 afterwards. The movies.
Can she go first? Actually, I'm gonna go upstairs.
At least just trying to.
I heard that.
Like, what would you at least try?
To change.
Yeah, it could be something
Music,
very
probably.
minor or major.
Well, definitely the music.
So you definitely would get a much better
For
soundtrack.
both. For both.
That makes sense.
See, I like both the movies, so I can't. It's a terrible. I probably wouldn't change anything because I like both movies for different reasons. I mean, they both. It's hard for me to do that.
Very true.
I mean, the music for sure, though, because
Yeah.
the music was just obsolete for me. I mean, I don't even remember any music.
Oh
True
my
enough.
god.
All right. So, what about you, BilliePetal?
I think I would give the miniseries in the first, the original section, I would give a little more character development. I feel like it's kind of obscure in the first part. Maybe they go into it in the second part. We can't remember.
They do.
But I would like more of it in the first part.
Yeah, I would agree with her there too. I agree with that too.
And I
So
think
wait, you guys watched the first half of the first movie, but not the second?
we watched both parts like
Years
a year
ago.
and a half ago or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And then we watched the first part last night or this morning. I can't remember anymore what's happening.
Last night.
Last night. There you
Yeah.
go.
And I'm missing the second half.
Yeah, the second half.
So
of the
we weren't
miniseries
able
is
to
gone.
review that second half. So it's been a while since I've
So
seen it.
yeah, for that reason you did only see the kid part. Like mostly the adult part comes in the second movie. So
Right.
you
Oh,
weren't missing
wait a minute.
that.
I liked the character development better in the second movie.
In the remake.
Or the remake.
Yeah.
I think it's just you get to know the character more in the
And
background.
in the first
and-
part of the remake, there is more character development.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yes.
And I would give
I
that.
agree.
I would give more character development in the first part of the original miniseries for sure.
Mhm.
Oh my
That's
god.
that.
All right, Ingrid. What about you? What would you change about these films and why?
Sorry, I heard that. I just found some disassembled Halloween lights that my son left for me. I'm just like, dude, what the hell did you do?
Oh no.
Um,
Oh no.
the first movie, I wouldn't change anything because I kind of grew up with this. It's like one of my favorites. I love all the acting. I love all the music. I can still remember everything really well. What you think isn't memorable, maybe just because it was a movie I grew up watching on TV when it first aired at like 5 years old and just loving it. The second movie, I remember very key parts of it because they did a good job at certain. Would you quit talking over me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
It's okay. You have the floor.
No. Go ahead. I was just agreeing in that, like when you say, the original It was, you watched it in 5. It was like your most that's like me with. I was just saying that's like me with Night of the Living Dead.
So basically, nostalgia
yeah.
makes it
I mean,
really
if it-
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you watch the remake and you have very, very high hopes for it, I mean, this did have some high points for me. I really like the part where Beverly goes into the house as an adult and that, like, old lady is there. And that creepy part where she's trundling around naked in the background.
Yeah,
that
was
was totally unnecessary. It wasn't in the books, and it still scared the shit out of me. I loved it. So I don't know. It's hard to say. Am I giving a score overall for both of them right now?
No, it's more like what would you change if you wanted to, if you were in the director's chair? What would you change and
why? If
why?
I could change anything about the second movie, I wouldn't have tried. I know they were doing that for today's audience, but I wouldn't have tried to bring this movie into the future, into the early 80s when it first happened, and then into the 2000s when they were going back to revisit. I feel like a lot of the story was lost because Stephen King did a really great job of painting a perfect picture of the late 1950s, and then when they go back, it's early 80s when they fight him. Again, when they're returning to Derry, it's like 1983 or 85 rather. Sorry, 1985. So, yeah, I would have not changed the time frame. I would have left it the way it should have been.
All right. What?
I forgot to say that I would have done a little something different with the ending in the remake. I would have given that a little more time.
How did it end again?
I believe they sort of shame him to death. Don't they?
Something like that.
Ignore him. They belittle him to death, sort of.
Right.
Yeah, basically.
That whole
basically by no longer showing fear to Pennywise, he becomes so weak to the point where he could actually be killed.
Right. I felt like.
Oh, okay. So that was so different from the book that I forgot it. That's not what happened. There was a mental fight that happens, but Pennywise has a physical form, and it's a big, almost spider thing. And did they actually put into the second movie that it was a female?
Oh.
Was it a female? It was. They find
I
out
couldn't
when
tell
they're
with the
mind
first
reading
movie.
it, like, oh my god, it's female and it's pregnant. So
Yikes.
after they defeat him, Ben on his own goes through the sewers in the dark because their lights have gone out, and he stomps out all the little baby Pennywises that have come out of the big monster. So that's the other thing, is they spend time down in the sewers. And I don't think the movie shows how the whole town was destroyed. The sewer system collapses, and all of Derry is almost absorbed in that storm because Pennywise has been roaming the sewers for so long that Derry's almost built on top of his lair. So, yeah.
That explains a lot, actually.
Yeah.
That would have been nice to know. That clarifies shit. Pretty good.
Look, I'm telling you, if you can get past the stupid scene I told you about down in the sewers, that's maybe 5 pages out of a book that's 1,095 pages or 195. It's an amazing book, and it has so much to it. I have nothing but good things to say about it. I'm sorry I've taken over your stream. I will be quiet now.
I think I've decided I am going to read it, and if I need to jump past that little section, I will. But I think I need to read it because I need to.
Well, I think once you get to it, though, it's so deep in the book, and it actually is so much a part of the story, you're going to grit your way through it and understand. You'll understand when you read it what it brings to it. It's not. Anybody who tries to explain it like this, people are like, oh my god. You have to read it.
Right.
You have to remember being 12 years old and full of hormones and being stuck. If you were stuck down in a sewer system and thought maybe you were going to die, maybe you didn't want to die a virgin and you wanted to do all your best friends. I don't know. I'm just saying.
About
maybe
that, but I still wouldn't. No. That's gross.
That's revolting.
Yes.
This is what happens to our channel now. For me though, if I were to change anything, definitely the soundtrack. I would have definitely given them a lot more direction because the music was used in the worst ways in both the original as well as the remake, though the remake did it worse.
As well as more practical instead of CGI.
I actually would have done a mixture of practical with CG because there are some practical effects you could use that could make some of those scenes even more terrifying, more real, compared to using only CG for that.
Right.
And here's the thing, The Mummy, that didn't need to be CG, and look, you could just you could actually make a real mummy look pretty damn awesome, especially with modern practical effects. The headless man running, that is another scene they could have used practical effects and could have done such a better job with that than they did with CG. But again, that's one scene that I'm fine with doing either or.
Right.
Some CG I'd like to keep in, the painted lady scene. I love that one. That one did an incredible job on that.
Quite
Well, it
And
was scary, I'll give you that. It was creepy, but I'm just surprised they didn't go with that kid's original fear. He encountered it in a really creepy place. It involved 2 drowned dead girls that came back haunting him down a set of stairs, and I feel like that was scarier than the Painted Lady.
yeah, like I said, the book is actually a lot more terrifying.
Jesus.
But let me see. If I were to, another thing I would definitely like to change is what they did to the remake in general, where in the original miniseries, even though it did have some problems, they were nothing that deterred anything from the atmosphere entirely. You could still feel the tension when certain scenes were in there. Where in this one, most of the scenes were either a little too over the top, or were just too damn loud, too damn noisy, and sometimes the scares were just thrown out the window because of it. Like the scene I mentioned with the garage door and how it was open and everything, all that music booming in your ears, where they could have just turned down the music.
It's so unmemorable.
Here's the thing, though: if they would have turned down the music, brought up the sound effect volume, and of course cut all the music and sound entirely, and just heard him breathing in the darkness, and then had the car drive by, it would have been a much better scene. I just think it would have made the scene even scarier. It would have actually made you feel the tension of, is he going to attack me out of nowhere, or is he just going to sit there, or what's he going to do next? And then all of a sudden when the car goes by, everything's normal, and then you're like...
So really it is a balancing act.
Exactly.
It's an art of balance.
Yeah, where I think in the original one, they unfortunately did a little bit less on the scares. The other one did more scares, but they were unfortunately too... Over the top, in my particular case. And a lot of their scenes were really over the top. Even the deleted scene I mentioned with Henry, for as gory as it was, I even thought that was a little over top, even for him. So, yeah.
He's pretty scary just as himself.
Exactly. So, honestly, I don't think you really need to add that scene. I'm very grateful they deleted it, because I think that would have made him way more over the top than he was. At least that's in my personal opinion, though.
That's the way he was, though. They made it even less over the top than he really was in the books. Henry Bowers is a bona fide fucking lunatic.
True. It could have been worse. It could have been far worse, because in the book he is... mentally deranged is an understatement. But...
yeah, definitely.
Again, it's more like... yeah, and with the bullies, for as much as I do like the bullies in the original and in the remakes, while one is over-the-top goofy, the other one is over-the-top, like, why in the world are you trying to scare me? Because this is just stupid. No one's ever going to act like this out in public.
Sadly they do. They think they're cool, and they're just big dumb roosters. Like, they're not, like, I don't know, they're... yeah. There are people that will act that dumb.
True.
Sadly, so...
True nowadays, but I still... What?
I like the bullies better in the first
Luckily
movie.
enough, we have fewer questions this time around. Okay. We have at least one question for each of us before we end it.
Okay, let's wrap.
Alright, so, first question will go to Puganator. If you were to scale Pennywise in scare factor and if you were taking both each in their own scale of 1 to 10, 1 being just not even scary at all to 10 absolutely terrifying, what would you put in your personal opinion, since the person who asked this has watched the channel, they've heard about you and your background with horror movies?
I say the first one, the original, an 8, and I think a 10 for the remake, and I don't know why, but that he just really creeped me out.
Alright, so what would everyone else give the score then? If we're going to do we'll just make it a group question this time. So, what would you give the score for the scare?
I've always loved Tim Curry as a kid. Me too. Seeing him in this is the first time I had just seen him when Puganator and I watched him. I would give him probably like a 9. He scared the crap out. I was like, that's so disturbing to see him like that. But I think Bill Skarsgård did a really good job as well. I think they're both like a 9 in my opinion. I think they're different types.
Wait, do I have the wrong Skarsgård? I thought it was Alexander Skarsgård that was Pennywise.
No.
No.
It's the younger brother with the darker hair.
Yeah, younger brother.
Oh, okay. I was totally off, but they're both
so many
good looking.
pictures.
They both, neither one of
So
them look like
he's in-
Pennywise, so.
He's in Hemlock Grove. Did you ever see that?
Which one?
Hemlock Grove.
Grove.
Oh, no, that's on my list for Netflix, but I never watched it,
This
so.
is that.
Oh, what about you, Ingrid? What would you scale both Pennywises if you were to do them individually?
Curious, Bill.
Oh, okay, that's hard because, okay,
Yeah, that's what I
Tim
thought.
Curry as
I thought
Pennywise
that was
is
who
the
you were
first thing
talking
I've seen him in. Very close second is Darkness. I don't know, he has a certain charisma to him.
He has an allure.
Where I love him, but the second Pennywise is the one I would less like to meet in a Storm Drain. If I had to pick a
Amen.
Storm Drain and there was Tim Curry and the other guy, I would probably pick Tim Curry because I'd be like, oh, bro, I want to meet you. Can I have your autograph? And I'd be like, it'd be a good time. The other guy would eat me, so I'm not going to go in that one.
Yes, I agree. I don't know what it is about that other guy, but
It's his
he's
eyes.
All right.
it's creepy.
It's the little childish voice.
Yes,
He's trying
yes.
to be childish, but
See?
really
Yes.
I'm going to oomph your. Also, but we didn't touch on this. The real it face on the new Pennywise versus the first one is so much scarier with the big, huge, open, many teeth mouth that opens up. That's way scarier with the new one than the first one. Like, oh my god.
Yes.
Oh.
Wait a
Okay.
minute, the remake is better than
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I am actually
sharp
going to
teeth,
absolutely
really
disagree
scary.
with you.
Yes, because it's CGI and you hate
No.
CGI.
I literally just stated earlier I don't hate CGI,
No,
so
you hate
screw
the
off.
CGI in this film, though. You don't like how much.
I
they used
personally am fine with some CG, just not all of it. I
Right.
think they overused it. But I'm talking about Pennywise when it comes down to it. If I were to go for it, the original Tim Curry one, a 10. Mainly because not only can you find him at the time period anywhere on the street, but he is almost like a representation of what child pedophiles were. As well as
See, I think
that
the other one is.
is actually more terrifying if you think about it. Not to mention
Wait,
just
who? Which one?
the Tim Curry performance.
Yeah, see, I don't agree with that.
Where, and not to mention, Tim Curry
Well,
is
there
more
was
likely
nothing actually
you are going to
pedophilic
fall
about
for
it.
his trap more than the other one.
Okay,
Well,
listen.
okay, neither movie nor book, there was no pedophilia. It was all...
I know,
The
but
innocent-
come on, you have to admit that's kind of what the theme is with Pennywise in a way.
Okay, I gotta escape
No, I refuse.
real quick, only because I can hear
All right, go
Code
on.
up there. He's like screeching.
Good point. All right,
Go find your screeching beast
yep,
and take care of it.
Puganator is heading out.
Bye!
But yeah, I'm still gonna be honest with you. I can't take the new one seriously at all. I just don't think he's that scary. For as much as I would love to say he's good, I don't know why. I just
my flip-flops.
oops. But yeah, I honestly just I don't know why. I just don't like him in general.
I think he's
just
disarming because he's very jolly and
No.
like, sweet kind
even
of at the
with
start.
even with his personality as it is. Like, here's the thing, personality wise, that Pennywise is scary, but combined it with that look, I can't take him seriously for anything. Where if you put that personality in the Tim Curry look, oh my god, that'd be terrifying.
That would be terrifying.
That would be far scarier than anything that those two were able to do.
That's true. That would be a nightmare. That would haunt me.
Yeah.
Now, thank you for that because I'm going to think about that when I'm trying to sleep later.
Good.
What
But
is wrong with you? No.
oh, trust
You're like
me.
trying to torment yourself.
Oh, trust me, I have so many dark thoughts in my head. You'd be very surprised. For as happy-go-lucky as I am, and how much I'm very much, I love helping people and always being there for everyone. But yeah, when you get me into the horror mood, you should see the dark stuff in my head. I can make some really dark, horrifying, and some depressing stories come to life. I'm that good.
Sorry, that was from it, and you guys don't know enough to recognize it, so I'm not talking to you anymore. No.
But yeah, overall though, I would say that if I were to go for a scale, the new version would get a 6 from me. The old one with Tim Curry has got to give a 9. But if I were to say that if you took the personality of the new Pennywise and mix it with the look of the old Pennywise, that would be a full-on 10 for me.
That would be like a 20. That's
Or
disturbing.
yeah, 20. Because
Hella disturbing.
good lord, that would just be like
Yikes.
wow.
I'm still scared of Book Pennywise personally. That's the
Oh yeah, the book
scariest one.
Pennywise is basically what I just said. Then of course we have another question. Do you think that this is Stephen King's, and this is for all three of us, do you think that this is Stephen King's best film of all of his books?
Ooh.
No, not at all.
Wow.
Because there's too much weirdness to this book to put into film. Neither one of the good films has actually covered all the weird shit that makes this book great. I want to say it's either Shawshank or The Green Mile, which we've already covered because those books are pretty short, and the movie people stuck to the book and then found the perfect actors. So I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Also, Kathy Bates, Misery. Woo.
True. And for what it's worth, yeah. I could definitely say, I would say that, in my personal opinion, I hope it's Shawshank and Green Mile, personally. But yeah, let's take a look. Alright, now according to this, I'm only going to be looking at specifically 6 through 1. Because I think it would be too long if we tried to actually go for 30 of them.
What is it?
A list of the best films.
Oh.
Shawshank Redemption is
Wait,
number
6
6.
through 1?
Yeah.
Starting
trust
at
me,
6
if
and
it-
going up to 1.
Yeah, we're not doing the full
Okay,
30
okay.
because, good
He
lord,
does
that
it
would
in
take too long.
reverse.
Alright, we have
Okay, I get
Shawshank
it now, but I'm
Redemption
like,
number
what?
Shawshank Redemption number 6. Number 5, The Shining. Number 4, Stand By Me.
Oh, yes.
Number 3, The Dead Zone.
Mm.
Number 2, Misery. And number 1, okay, I'm not surprised, Carrie.
Oh,
I can understand
This one,
Carrie.
the book
It
is
was his
better.
first successful movie of all the books. Because that was the first one
That
to be
was
adapted.
Stephen King's first hit, not just movie. That was his first, like...
Yeah, his first
hit,
book.
Like,
that's, she's
sold.
like, and she's like
Yeah.
a trope in all unto herself.
Oh
You
yeah,
know
of
what I mean?
course. And not to mention the filmography and everything that was done on it is just fantastic.
I think Stand
Wait,
By
have
Me
we
is
read the book, though?
probably-
I'm just going to say, hands down, that is an awesome book. It's way
It
better
is-
than the movie.
it
Like,
is-
she causes some serious mayhem in that town they don't show in the movie. She
Oh, yeah, of
basically
course.
burns that town to the ground with her mind, so...
Yeah,
Good for her.
but there's the thing though. Think about the budget.
Good for her! I support her!
No, I'm just saying the budget would be absolutely insane if they actually got that much detail. They already had enough of a problem when the actual set caught on fire.
Like 1979 or something. No, I know, but
Yeah,
still.
remember the when the gym was on fire?
And then the guy died.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
That
set
was
actually
serious
caught on fire.
Did it really?
Yeah.
That was a great scene. And that actually was in the book, and I totally approved of the scene. And oh my god, I can't say enough good things about that movie and that book. So,
Right.
but
yeah.
the remake, I mean the original. I haven't seen the remake with Chloe.
They did 2 remakes and a sequel.
We saw like
What?
2 of them, didn't we?
The Rage Carrie 2,
They did it.
the TV
Okay.
Carrie TV remake, and the remake
did
that was made in
like Carrie
2013.
Carrie 2 was a reimagined. It was like years later, and like somebody in her family line that had the same powers. I liked that one. I did not like the remake that they did several years ago. Can't remember. Was it Chloe something?
Deschanel? Is she in that? Oh, is she
No,
a
no, no.
teacher?
That's Zoe. That's Zoe Deschanel.
Oh.
It's Chloe's something. She was in. She's been in a lot of shit. Hold on, I'll
Oh,
look
with
it
the
up.
S, Slav,
Actually,
might
there's
even
actually
be-
technically 2 remakes.
and...
There was the one that was made for the theaters, and the other one was a TV remake.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really? I might have
Yes.
missed the TV one.
Oh, I saw both. The TV remake's pretty bad.
I don't think I would,
You had Chloe Grace Moretz was the Carrie. You remember her
Oh,
at all?
right!
If I also
Oh,
remember
from
correctly, she
Kick-Ass.
was also
Yeah,
underage.
From Kick-Ass, right?
Yeah, I think
The
so.
little one?
I think so.
I haven't seen that one, so I don't know. But she was
Okay.
kind of a child star that grew up a little bit, so.
Yeah.
Right.
For
yeah,
what
exactly.
it's worth, though, but
Yeah, no, you're right. She was in Kick-Ass.
I think that Carrie is a relatable character because
She
I
was
think...
Minnie McCready or Hit Girl.
Right. Hit Girl, I think. Right? Nicholas Cage.
I think
Yeah,
so.
that's what it was. I had to look it up. I haven't seen Kick-Ass. I've heard it's good, but I
Oh,
haven't seen it. So.
it's awesome. Oh, it's fucking awesome. I think that Carrie is relatable because I think everyone has been in a position in their lives where they've been bullied and pushed to an extreme. I'm not saying that, I'm not recommending that you, go to the dark arts and, burn down a whole town. But I think that she's relatable
if you were a teenager,
right.
If you were a teenager being traumatized and you had this accidental power, you wouldn't have been able to help it. You would have burned everybody to the ground. Like,
Billy?
No, I agree.
Grab my mother's gun and
shoot I would have.
Why?
Because apparently Sleepwalkers earned $30.5 million in the box office.
Wow.
That shitty-ass movie, which, yes, we're going to be reviewing that movie in the end of September.
No vegetables, no dessert. That's one of my favorite lines in cinema.
I don't remember that. I do remember how cheesy that movie was, though. With the snarling human cat faces. Man, that was so bad.
The Lawnmower Man? Never heard of it.
Oh, that's disturbing. That's a very disturbing film.
Oh my god, you guys have any idea how different that movie is from the short story that he wrote? It's completely different.
What? Why do they do that?
Sometimes it's the director, sometimes it's the writer himself.
I don't know, but the actual short story is a crazy guy who comes in and he's mowing lawns and using all his extremities and his teeth is like, he's really creepy. It's totally different. Like, I love it. I love it.
Then, of course, there's The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I don't know that one. My God, I thought I saw every Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie Running Man. But yeah,
we're all like, no idea.
Then there's The Shining that earned $46.5 million in the box office.
Not surprising at all.
Stand By Me earned $52.2 million.
One of the best movies ever made.
$57.46 million was earned for Pet Sematary. The Mist earned $57.47.
That's revolting. That makes me angry.
Oh, stop it. You're fine.
I hate that film.
Misery, $61 million.
That's not surprising.
Yes, that's an awesome movie, even more awesome book.
Dreamcatcher. What?
I never saw that.
That one earned $81.2 million. No.
That was the worst movie adaptation of a Stephen King book I've ever seen.
Well, guess what? It earned $81.2 million in the box office.
That's slightly embarrassing.
I can hear screaming. The 2013 Carrie?
Oh, no.
Earned $84.7 million in the box office.
Like, people are so desperate for, cinema entertainment. That makes me very
Just
sad.
read the book, y'all. Learn
The Secret Window.
Read the words.
Secret Window.
Is that with Johnny Depp?
Oh,
yep.
Yes.
$92.9 million.
Wow.
The only saving grace to that movie was Johnny Depp, and they still fucked up that short story.
Oh.
Okay? That was so...
I'm sorry.
The acting was so cheesy. Johnny Depp was the only good part, and he tried to work with what he had with a script. Like that, they messed up that short story. Oh my god. Sorry, guys. I'm getting too emotional about my... I love Stephen King. He's my favorite author. I could write books, just reports on him.
And then, of course, we have the 2019 remake of Pet Sematary that earned $113 million in the box office.
So Puganator had me watch both versions of that film. They are both very disturbing.
Oh, The Dark Tower.
Why would you want to... I refuse to watch that too.
$113.2 million.
Isn't that with Idris Elba?
Yeah.
I think no.
Oh, yes, it is. He plays Roland. Okay.
I think so, yeah.
You're going to listen to me. You're going to hear me being an asshole, okay? Because I'm very much focused on the books, okay? I
also,
love
Matthew
the books. I love
McConaughey's in
the
it.
details put into the books. Okay. Roland Deschain in the Dark Tower series is a very white, blue-eyed man, and it's brought up more than once. Idris Elba is a super black guy. I'm sorry. You cannot make him into the gunslinger.
Why?
Even if he's a good actor, he doesn't fit the character. There are too many times in the books when it actually is referred to how white Roland is because of Detta, his cohort. So I'm sorry, I just too many of the books, so I couldn't get past the fact that they cast somebody so different from what Roland should have looked like. That's just me. But I haven't.
Though he does play the part very well.
I heard it was also kind of shit.
I have a
well, also Matthew McConaughey as the Man in Black. Come on, fuck that guy. He cannot play Walter. It's not happening.
Wow.
I refuse to watch it.
Okay.
No, don't you wow me. You gotta read the books.
Okay, here's the next one. 1408.
Oh, is that John Cusack?
Yep, John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson.
I love Samuel L. Jackson.
Earned $132.9 million in the box office.
Wow, that's crazy.
The Green
I
Mile.
don't remember enough. I just remember, Green Mile. Yes.
$286.8 million in the box office.
Wow.
We already talked about that movie on this channel last week, and if you guys know, this one got nominated for several Academy Awards,
Right.
including the
Yeah,
Academy
should
Award
have.
for Best Picture and Best Supporting Actor. Unfortunately, none of them were wins,
Oh, wow, that's tragic.
which a lot of people, including myself, and I'm not even kidding, everyone in the fan base to even the regular movie-loving community absolutely hates that the critics voted for another movie instead. It was bull. Alright.
Could I point out that when this actually happened, you didn't give a shit and you were just playing Pokemon still? I'm just sorry, I'm just saying.
No,
like,
I'm
you didn't
just
care
I'm
back
just
in
looking
99
through the
when
list
this
of...
happened.
I'm just looking through the
touche.
list.
Touche.
Oh, here we go. It Chapter 2 earned $473 million in the box office.
Good lord.
Part 1 earned $701.7 million.
Jesus. Clearly, we all need a hobby. All right.
Hey, it shows just how much they do really good on films.
Yes.
Because, good lord, you can earn that much money, then you earned yourself at that point, at that place, man. All right, we have one more question before we end today's episode. And this one is actually, from one of my fans who, unfortunately, I just found out she just got COVID. And she wanted to ask this particular question since she grew up with Stephen King. For her, what would you guys say is your favorite character out of all the Stephen King stories you've ever done? And she said, my favorites are Pennywise and Red.
Oh, Red from Shawshank? Yeah, he's great. Holy shit. I've read a lot of Stephen King. It's going to take me a while, actually.
I can make that
so
decision very
somebody
quick.
more recent. I really like his more recent stuff. The Bill Hodges trilogy. I really like Bill Hodges, but you know who I really like? Holly. Her name is Holly. I can't remember her last name, but she's a super strong character. She's very timid. She has a little bit of like a mental issue, a mental hang-up, and her parents just exacerbate that. And Bill Hodges brings her out of that, and she's actually super cool. Like, so I love Bill, I love Holly, and I love Jerome, and I think they make an awesome trio. Yes, I love them so much.
For me, my favorite character out of all the Stephen King stories has to go to Michael Clark Duncan's character in Green Mile. His will always be my personal favorite. And
John
of course,
Coffey.
John Coffey. Also,
So good.
rest in peace, both the character and the actor.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be my all-time favorite, bar none. What about you?
Right now today it would be Ben from It, because he's so endearing. His heart, he's got like a little heart of gold, and he's writing poetry to her, and he, you know, he's just a really good character. I like him a lot. He's got this little heroic vibe about him. But to be perfectly honest, I'm not as well versed at all as you guys are in Stephen King stuff, but I will say that Stand By Me came out when I was pretty young. And that movie was probably one of the first sort of coming-of-age stories that was really brutal and covered some really dark subject matter. And that one really, I could go right back to my childhood when I think of that movie. So I would say that, I can't remember the characters' names offhand right now, but that's definitely one of those movies that it was so powerful when you saw it, was so influential, and it was so relatable. All of the, not necessarily the death, but what the kids were going through and how honestly they represented that and their relationship with each other, their friendship. I would say that Stand By Me is probably the one I would vote for. All the boys in that are
makes sense.
Really, that stands out to me when I think of Stephen King.
Rest in peace, River Phoenix.
Absolutely, River. Loved him.
All right, everyone. We are finally done with this episode. But remember, we still have 2 more Saturdays for Stephen King month, where, of course, we have next Saturday is going to be Stand By Me, which she just mentioned, and Children of the Corn. Yes, they are complete opposites from each other, but they are movies based solely around children.
That's true.
I think that it seems pretty fair that we do those movies like I did with the first 2.
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to figure out. I haven't seen the movie for Children of the Corn. I'm trying to figure out how they turned that short story into a whole movie.
Oh,
like,
it's
wow.
fun.
Actually,
You guys
they
follow
did
the
the
same
original. They
stretch.
actually remade this movie.
What?
They remade Children
Oh
of the
my
Corn.
god.
Yeah, there's
okay,
like
so
at
this
least 2
short
of them,
story
right?
of Stephen King's is very short. It's like short and sweet and to the point. Demonic children in a cornfield. They're going to eat you. They're going to sacrifice you. How did they get a 2-hour movie out of this? It's very short. It's like 10
Well,
minutes. No.
I'm more familiar actually with the remake. Isn't that with the little blonde, the white-haired kids with the glowy eyes?
I would think so, yeah.
Or is that Village
That's
of the
Children of the
Damned?
Damned.
That might be Village of the
That's
Damned.
Children of the Damned.
Children of the Damned.
Oh, Children of the Damned,
Village of
thank
the
you.
Damned, yes.
Okay.
But yeah, basically that's the one that has that one.
Oh,
No, Children of the
that's
Corn is
whole
with
town
the whole town with
yeah,
the child cult.
Right.
With an actor who plays the priest who just so happens to be 25 years old. No, I'm not joking. The actor has a specific disease where he unfortunately doesn't age. I kind of feel bad, but at the same time, he plays a really good damn priest, and well done. It definitely fits the role of the Stephen King tropes of the psychotic religious people.
Stop that.
does.
You stop that now.
Oh, come
Hey,
on.
you know what? He's right. There are a lot of psychotic religious people, and he just includes them in his stories. It just happened. There's a way of the world.
Here's the strange thing. There's only a few stories I know of where if they did do the religious angle, they didn't insult religion. Like I said, The Stand and Green Mile are definitely those two.
Right.
But in most of the Stephen King miniseries, unfortunately, they have a tendency of
Being honest.
more like they love making fun of it. But yeah. Next week we're going to be doing Children of the Corn and Stand By Me. And then, of course, and for the final Stephen King month weekend, mainly final Stephen King Saturday, we're going to be doing Dreamcatcher and Sleepwalkers.
Wait, I thought. Oh my god. Okay, I thought you changed it though. I thought we were doing a list of
We
all
are
the
going.
top
I am
10.
going. Hey, if I'm going to watch these films, I'm making you guys watch them too. This
Wow,
is
that's-
torture for
that's-
me as
Dude,
much
I've
for
been
you
trying.
guys.
Okay,
That's
okay.
hateful.
I can't. I keep looking at all my like subscriptions for what movies I could watch. I can't necessarily. I'm not made of money. I can't buy all these movies to rewatch them, which is sad. Like, and it's sad
No,
because I
this
have
is
a lot of
true.
these on DVD. What the fuck is wrong with me? I can't find a DVD player in my house to save my life. Like, oh my god.
Unfortunately.
My PlayStations are both like shit. If I turn them on, they sound like, unfortunately, like a train hitting the World Trade Center. That's how big it is right now. I can't turn
Ouch.
those on without it.
Oh, did you really have to say that?
Happy
It's
9/11. Yeah. On
Okay, you
9/11,
deliberately
I did
said
on
it,
purpose.
okay.
I'm sorry. Okay. I just got done watching those Hulu documentaries by National Geographic. I'm scarred. It's a 6-parter. It's very informative. It's, oh my god, it's so good. I've never watched anything this informative. It's depressing. It's amazing. I advise everybody should watch it. It's part of our history. We should watch it. So.
That's true. We should own our history.
But yeah, tonight we're gonna do Smash Bros.
That
Of
was
course.
very quiet. We should own our strength.
Oh, we already did that at the start of the episode.
I love you so much.
But here we go. Smash Bros. Saturday is still happening from 8 to 12. Tomorrow we have Roblox Sunday from 12 to 2. We have RPGs happening on Sunday from 8 to 12 as well. And then, of course, we have D&D, hopefully. Because, unfortunately, I think Right Guy was very busy at the time.
Yeah.
We have, of course, Tuesday we have sports, Mutant Football League, basically sports, mayhem, and gore, as well as lots of language.
Oh.
And, come on, it's been one of my most popular freaking streams of all time. I'm not even joking.
Well, I'm sorry I haven't even been into it. I feel left out now. So.
Oh, trust me, if you see my earlier streams of this game, you will wonder how the heck they managed to get this through. For how much they they will murder each other, how much they die from from the field itself, from mines, cannonballs, pits of lava, pools full of piranhas, saw blades,
Sounds
lightning
awesome,
bolts.
but I have no idea what game you're talking about, but I like it already, so.
Oh yeah, it was an old Sega Genesis game before it was remade by the same company, and they remade it through a Kickstarter. I'm not even kidding.
What's the name again?
Mutant Football League. It's actually available on Xbox and PlayStation, and you can get it for around $20 if you get the Dynasty Edition, which gives you
My
Dynasty mode.
PlayStation is the thing that sounds like 9/11 right now, though. I can't even run it. So
Like I said-
I need to save money for a PS5, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah,
Donate to me, folks.
Like I said though, this is the reason why we have, of course, we have Xbox and the PlayStation version. Both of them have the Dynasty Edition, where you get Dynasty mode, which allows you to play through the entire campaign with a fresh start of new recruits you have. You can get free agents, you can get players from trades, you can level up your players.
Are you all mutants?
What?
Are they all mutants?
There's mutants, there's orcs, there's skeletons, there's robots, there's werewolves, there's vampires, there's gargoyles.
Wow.
And some of them are named after actual players, others are named after musicians and actors, such as Eddie Van Halen.
Oh, that's so cool.
And there's even a, and yes, I did technically kill him in a few games. I really do apologize. Well, technically, that's not even his real name in the game, but you already know it's an Eddie Van Halen freaking reference. Heck, I even have a player on my team right now in Dynasty mode that's named Nuke Dukem. If you guys know what that is, that's Duke Nukem's, letters reversed. But, yeah, basically, yeah. There's a lot of references to players, video game characters, actors, musicians, a whole bunch. It's amazing. And finally, we have Adventure Tuesday happening. I'm sorry, Horror Tuesday happening this time. And I am going to scare the ever-loving at myself when I play Five Nights at Freddy's 4.
I knew it was Freddy.
Five Nights at Freddy's 4. That damn franchise gives me such anxiety. I actually feel like I want to curl up in a ball and cry.
I think it looks so cool.
It's not. That's not that. It's just the stress management. I swear to God, every time I have to, I'm like, turn over here. Take a look through the door, open the door, flash the light, shut the door, head over to the other side, open the door, flash the light, shut the door, look into the closet, open the door, make sure that Foxy's not in there, turn around, make sure to check and see if the Freddy teddies are over there, that are on your bed and trying to, chop away, flash the light, make sure they disappear, turn around, make sure to go search the other room, and then the other room,
so not
back to it again.
With anxiety, I get you.
Let's just say one time, I was playing this game over at college.
Yeah.
It was after my classes, and a few of my friends were there watching me play this. I got so stressed out, I actually had a panic attack in the room, and my friends had to calm me down because the stress was getting so bad onto me.
It's terrible.
Because even for them, these guys also have a little bit of stress issues like I do.
Right.
But even they knew I was pushing myself too far with this one. I was actually about to freaking have a panic attack. That's the reason why they told me to just turn off the game, play something else.
Deep breath.
Yeah.
Get some fresh air.
The sad thing is
Fluids.
we had 3 pizzas. No one could eat the third one. I ate the whole damn thing myself.
Oh.
I was in that much of a stressful situation. And they were
And
like...
then after the pizza, you had that much more shame. Oh my God, I finished a whole pizza. Ugh.
No, that wasn't the shame. It was the shame was the fact that
What kind of pizza was it?
It was just cheese.
Okay.
I had...
Oh God,
I had
you should be ashamed for that.
Oh, trust me, I had stomach problems for at least a week, but yeah. But yeah, as you guys can tell, this is going to be a total nightmare when Tuesday night rolls around. I am going to lose my damn freaking mind. But again, you guys always love to watch me suffer.
I will be coming down to frighten you at some point.
It's true.
I won't tell you when.
I swear to God, if you do, I will bitch
No, I
slap
know.
you.
No, you'll just frighten me back, and I don't want to do the bidding.
I already got...
We are jolly somewhere. We need to watch you suffer so we can feel whole.
I already got jump scared by my freaking cat already last time.
Aw, I'm
I swear to God, and if you guys remember this, I was playing Five Nights at Freddy's 1. All of a sudden, the cat jumps on the back of my chair. I'm like, freaking. I was like, Jesus Christ, when you say cat. I was not in the best moods with that cat. I wanted to strangle her. Because I was on edge.
They're so great.
I was on edge that entire night. I did not like what she did to me, I swear to God.
I'm sure she didn't like what you did to her when you freaked out and, like, yeah.
Oh, no, she ran off as soon as she noticed I got angry at her.
She does love you.
I know, but Jesus,
She
each
wasn't
Christmas.
trying to scare you.
Unfortunately, she's too damn good at it. She's a black cat with the lights off, and I didn't know. Not to mention she's damn quiet.
That is, she's quite stealth.
Unfortunately, that's the problem with that cat sometimes. That when I'm playing games like those where stress management is at an all-time high, that cat will come at the worst of times, and I am gonna absolutely freak. I think there was only one time a person actually did that and actually tried to freak me out while I was playing the game. I accidentally punched them in the face.
Well, you know.
And the security guard saw it, and he's like, don't tell me. Is he playing Five Nights at Freddy's? He knows. The guard knew I was playing Five Nights at Freddy's just from looking at how nervous I was.
I do not believe you.
Trust me, the dude's a gamer. He knows the Gamers Club very well. He knows we're not violent. The only time we ever start freaking out like that is whenever we're playing a scary game like Five Nights at Freddy's, which, of course, is initiation in our club.
Oh.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
That tracks, though.
Unfortunately, yeah, he's like, for him, he's like,
put you on edge and get you.
Yeah, he was actually a college student and part of the Gamers Club before.
Oh.
So he had to be forced to do a horror game. Luckily enough, his was Resident Evil.
Oh.
But yeah, he was like, did they put you through a horror game? Yes. Yes, officer. Did you punch him in the face? Yes, sir. I don't blame you. You get to be fine for now. He actually let me off with a warning. But I swear to God, I am so grateful he did because I didn't mean to hit him.
Right. It's a reflex.
He even saw me freak out when he did this. And then bam, right in the face.
You gotta take responsibility for it. You know that you're gonna get popped when you're scaring somebody playing something like that.
He even told him, this is the reason why you don't ever do this to people.
Right.
You gotta stop this tradition. You're gonna end up having someone break their nose.
Right.
Either from the person that's hitting you or from your own stupidity. Yeah, and that's when we all agreed we were never doing that to a new club member again. Because after that little instance, we all were like, yeah, we're not putting anyone through that again.
This is messed up.
Oh, I'm glad that's all it took for you to decide not to torment a super, person that you love and know, and a fellow human. I'm glad it took that long for you to figure out not to do that. No.
The club's been around for 5 years. You would think that they would have already stopped by now.
Oh, you poor suckers. No.
Well, poor suckers for whoever had to join the club and deal with that crap. But yeah, let's just say it was definitely one of those weird moments I would not like to repeat. But yeah, you guys now know the schedule that's happening this week. Of course, if you guys want to, we do have our website, of course, that we can that I will try to post at the next stream.
Okay.
But as well as, of course, a Discord link. But if you guys like what we do here, please follow us on Facebook, Twitch, as well as subscribing to us on YouTube. We're hoping to reach up to 100 followers on Facebook, as well as reaching up to 100 subscribers on YouTube. And right now, we're actually trying to reach up to 500 followers on Twitch. We're almost hitting the half-century mark, the half-millennium mark, which is insane. And of course, if you guys want to help support the channel, you can either donate to the channel if you so wish to, or you guys can subscribe to us through our tier system or through Amazon Prime if you want to. So, and of course, we are still trying to figure out ways we can make the channel a little bit more inclusive. We're still trying to figure a few things out. I will update you guys whenever I can get a chance to figure that out. Until then, I hope I get to see you guys all tonight. I'll see you all next time. This is Mr. RetroActive, signing out. Have a great day, everyone.